Hola, ¿cómo está? What's going on, Lady Luck Club? How y'all doing? Happy Friday. Hope y'all can hear me. So excited for the weekend. Oh my God, we have so many new members. Y'all, this is amazing. Shout out to everybody. Okay. Shout out to my mods, to the members, to all of the supporters, to the viewers, to the Umar Tardians, because Jesus loves the trolls as well, especially James Miller. What's going on, everybody? Praise the Lord, church. All right. We got a new member up in here. Shout out to Cloudscape. What's going on, Black Anonymous? I really hope Uncle Malik is here for this one. Oh, yes, y'all. We're going to be going over the interview that Dam Dam, who wants Gam Gam, did with Jamar. And it was another podcaster, young lady, actually. And then we're going to go over the response that Umar decided to post up, along with Jamar's response to that. So it's like 3 videos here. Yeah, I can't make this up. I just can't make it up. So hold on. I started too early. Lord, started too early, y'all. Trying to rewind it and it was playing. My bad. So there's like 3 videos. We might not check out the entire last 2, but I want to get the whole interview in, if that makes sense. But the responses, the back and forth banter they had, and I mean, Umar is just, he acts like he's always on his period, right? He's such a drama queen. He can't handle, being wrong. He can't handle when people hold him accountable. That's why he does the cyber crimes. That's why he cyber harasses and cyber doxes and cyber bullies and does the illegal doxing and have people pull up on people and content creators threatening to sexually assault somebody. Because he doesn't want people to see at the end of the day. He has no intentions on opening the school. He just wants to continue on with this grift from everlasting to everlasting. So this is where we are, people. So yes, there was some back and forth between, Lil Debbie Swiss Roll and Jamar. And yeah, Jamar handled him accordingly, but we're going to get to that. Let's get to all of the members here. Shout out to everybody, the Dazzling Globetrotter. Hey, what's going on? New members. I don't know if you guys have noticed the video that I did on Umar's mom and the information with the text and all those things. That is now a members only video. So if you want to check that out, it is on the members only channel. And if you want to see it, you have to join to become a member, because that's how it is. And there's information like that, I want the family to be encouraged and to know that they can stand together and fight back. And there are options for them being able to get access to their mother/grandmother. We've seen Lennon interview the nephew of Umar. He has other siblings. He's not the only child. And yet he's ostracizing the family from her, which is not healthy for her mental health and well-being. It's just not. And he cannot come up with a viable reason or justification that would be feasible in a court of law to any judge as to why he's ostracizing her entire family from her. That's, there's no excuse for it. And especially when he's turning away anyone trying to do a wellness check. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I did get your email, Black Anonymous. And yes, we're going to set up a special stream for that. Yep. It's going to be a nice little surprise for you guys. I mean, Umar just doesn't know how to quit. But Umar, I'm keeping my foot on your neck and you can kiss my ass. All right. Moving on. Let's get to Rivka. Peace and blessings. Beautiful sister, Lady Luck Club. Looking forward to another great show tonight. Y'all, we had a good time last night, and we are going to have a good time tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Wolves of Black Wall Street, new member. I appreciate it. My damn, today is my birthday and it sucks. No. My Dale, we gotta celebrate your birthday. Y'all, we're gonna show you all how we celebrate birthdays up in the Lady Luck Club. We gotta do it. We gotta play the birthday song. Yep. We're gonna do the birthday song first. So we'll get to that right before we start our content, our show for the night, looking at the interview between Umar and Jamar, and Jamar handled him like a champion. What's going on, Radiant Shadow? We got a sister exhume. Hope everyone is doing good tonight. New people up in here. Radiant Shadow, what's going on? Laura. Oh man, my fantastic mod. Laura's also my administrator back here in StreamYard. So if anything is happening technically, um, Laura is the one of the administrators that has the ability to get my attention backstage or send an email. All of my mods can reach me in an instant. But she's the administrator for StreamYard. So shout out to my mods. I appreciate you all. Happy birthday, my Dale. We're gonna brighten your day, honey. Wish you are. Sweet DJ, what's going on? Y'all, James Miller ran away from here so quick it wasn't even funny. But Sweet D was like, I'm ready for you. Sweet D said, let him up. I dropped that link and let him up. Oh, that was fun. I knew James was gonna run away. Messy Michelle. Oh, Messy Michelle. What's going on? How you doing? I heard you've been on a cruise, girl. Oh, I'm so jealous. Shout out to Messy Michonne. If I could get one of the mods to drop her channel link in the chat. Fantastic content creator. Ciao. That's her moniker. Ciao, girl. I love it. Shout out to you, Messy Michonne. Thank God it's Friday. So glad to see you in. Check it in with us. And I always, when I catch your lives, give you a shout out, man. Fantastic content creator. It's so good to see the community come together, y'all. Absolutely. What's going on, Nidra? Let's get to it. Did you see the latest video from the lounge? I did not. The lounge with live? Is it a new video? I saw something posted up about Umar's daughter giving up on Instagram. That's a new one. Yeah, that's a new one. Make sure as you guys come in, hit that like button. 43 people watching. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Everybody speak to everybody. Francisca, how you doing? Let's see. M. Joey, what's going on? Let's be sure speaking to everybody. T. Davis, how you doing? Your Francisca is across the water in the UK. Shout out to you, honey. Yo, make sure you if I can get one of my moms, please drop the link to Messy Michonne's channel, Black Anonymous, the lounge. Let's see. I had no idea. The lounge did a whole video, y'all. I see this is what happens when working during the day and all this stuff. It feels like I miss out on everything. I really do. But Nas Expression, what's happening with you? What's going on? Hope all is well with you all. Yes, that was heartbreaking, but hopefully the fam can get her mom ASAP. Yeah, their mom ASAP. Exactly. Bougie Barbie. Because that's the whole point of the video, is advocating for that, advocating for them to have access to her. Umar's got her cooped up somewhere and then doesn't want her own children to see her. Like he can control and dictate that. I mean, it's so Umar, you're a Oompa Loompa. Saint, what's going on? How you doing, Saint? Shout out to my mods. I have the best mods on YouTube. No one can tell me differently. Dr. CB, go vegan. Don't be like Umar Jermaine. I know, right? Stolen Pleasures, what's happening? Oh, we got a $4.99 super from Brother Ted. Fun fact, Umar and I have opened the same number of schools for Black boys. I'm taking that number being 0. Y'all, we learned yesterday when we was watching one of the videos on the RBG TV channel. I believe it was Father. Y'all said it was Father Baba. I call him Father Moses because he looked like Moses. He said that he was originally, or I believe, he's not going to open a school, but deep down, he was aiming to just open the smaller school building. And then, like he said, and this is what he stated, this is what Umar said, see how things go, and then open the bigger school building. And when I heard that, I was like, see, He can't even tell you all concrete with a blessed assurance that he's trying to open both of the buildings at the same time. Because he said in that interview he was going to do the smaller one first and then the bigger one. Okay, so that's a telltale sign you're not trying to really do anything. Because you can't even make up your mind on what you're trying to do. But you're raising money like you're trying to open both schools, knowing that he was only going to open one building at a time. So who knows how long it would have taken for him to open the second school if he was only focused on opening the first school, but he had no problem keeping that secret from all of humanity when it came to raising money for both schools. Because like I said yesterday, why raise money for both schools if you're only trying to open one? That came out of his mouth, Messy. You wouldn't believe it. I was sitting here like, no, the hell, he didn't say that. I said, this old thunkhead is sitting here just told on himself. He's self-snitching all over the place. Yeah, we catching it all too. Yes, we did. So that's what he said. So yes, Brother Ted, 0 schools have been open. Oh my God. Yes, I did. I know, right? All right, y'all. Thank you so much, Saint, for posting up Messy's YouTube channel. Y'all go check out Messy Michonne, honey. She is hilarious and very direct and straightforward. She does not mince her words. She tell it like it is. I is. And shames the devil. She's not going to sit here and bite her tongue. I'm going to tell you that right now. Just like I do. But she tells it like it is. So you guys want to have a good time and have a good laugh. Messy Michonne, as well as a fantastic content creator. The lounge is the same way. Yeah, we just no nonsense women. We're grown women up in here. we tell the truth, shame the devil. Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you so much, Saint. I appreciate that. The lounge dropped some hot tea. She did. Ralph Mars, what's going on? Y'all, we may have to check out the lounge right quick. Other than the daughter giving up on IG, I missed it. If she dropped something else, I missed it. Y'all, see? Okay. So let's get started, y'all. Let's get started. We're 12 minutes in. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I've been trying to get to the comments, but there's 64 people in here. Tavares, what's going on? The Informant, what's going on? The Informant Media. Can I get the Informant Media's YouTube channel dropped? I want to make sure I cover all the content creators in here. City Time. City Team. Second time here. I'm excited. I'm excited too, honey. Welcome aboard. Everybody say happy birthday to my Dale. We're going to play the birthday song because we celebrate birthdays up in here. And then I guess we'll check out what the lounge is doing because she said something I guess I need to see. Lord, want to do it? First, we got to do the birthday song, y'all. All right. We're going to speed up a little bit. Yep. We want to say happy birthday to my Dale. This is how we celebrate. Y'all ready? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see it here. Let's go. Hey! 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 Hey!
Show me the altos!
Come on, man! Hey! Let's go! Put a smile on your face, daddy. Come on now. Let's go. That's how we do it up in here. Yeah, it cut so short. Could have done that.
Okay, so
5 minutes long. Look at Lenny. Shout out to Lenny. Yeah, that could have been 5 minutes longer. Happy birthday, my Dale. Don't feel blue, honey. We celebrate birthdays up in here because we celebrate life. We thank God for being able to live another year. Y'all like the gospel version of the happy birthday song? That song is a jam. And it's just my absolute favorite. So And plus, I know it won't get me blocked or anything. Y'all, the music is so copyrighted on YouTube. They suck. So it's one of the ones that I just go to. I know it's gonna go through. It's not gonna get copyrighted. Thank God. Happy birthday to Dale. Everybody tell Dale happy birthday. Make her feel good up in here. That's how we do it. The lounge, girl. What you doing, honey? There you go. The lounge YouTube channel is dropped. Shout out to the lounge. Shout out to Dale for her birthday. Messy Michonne, Black Anonymous. Shout out to all of those linen on her. His video came up on accident. Shout out to all of you all. What's going on with the lounge? I heard you posted up something. I need to check out. What's happening? That's what they say. You posted up some tea. Girl. The lounge, I've been working all day today, honey. If you only knew. Y'all pray that I hit the lottery. Yeah, just pray and all come together and pray I hit the lottery. I don't even care if it's like $1 million. I'll take that and just keep living. Oh, what's going on, Bernard? What's going on, everybody? I want everybody to feel good up in here. My dad, do you feel good, honey? Do you feel good? The lounge, what you talking about? What's going on? What did I miss, the lounge? What did I miss? Yeah, I think I missed something important. We're gonna get to the interview. I want to see what did I miss. Breaking news. Is it where Umar Johnson at the Kansas City airport? Lord, is that it? Y'all, shout out to the lounge. She be on it. Girl, you don't play no games. How did I miss this? Wait a minute. Okay, so which one is it? Which one do I need to check out like right now? Because they say you dropped some tea, and I'm obviously late. I'm late on this tea drop. Lord, see, what Umar Johnson is that it? Could possibly be charged. Oh, come on, please make my day and tell me there's some charges down the line. Please tell me. The lounge. Tell me which video I need to look at. Umar Simon's ticket, basically. Y'all know exactly. Who said it best? Narcissists right here. I see it. I see somebody said it. Narcissists don't care about laws. They don't care. They don't care about hypocrisy. There you go. Narcissists can't law. Exactly. They can't law, lay low, or eat. They can't do anything. It's much juicier than Umar at the airport. Is it the one where you talk about what he could be possibly charged with? Can you give me a preview or taste? I did say you put up some juicy tea today. I've missed it. I can't believe it. And why is he at the airport? See, he sit here and get mad when people know where he is, but he's the one putting it out there. He's the one posting up everywhere he goes. And then all he's doing is eating. He's just stuffing his face with oatmeal cream pies and Schweppes ginger ale. Because, he had a hard time saying Schweppes. Oh, God. This is something else. It has to be that one. Let me know which one it is. I'll check out both, honey. I'm going to save it to my watch later with him at the airport. Because if that's the one, and that one, and then the one where it says here, or is it this, it's got to be the possible charges he's facing. That's something else. Oh, yeah, he could be facing some serious, the IRS is going to tear his ass up. They just going to tear him up, y'all. I'm telling you all. I mean, if they could show, some level of money laundering, where he's moving money from one account to another account. He's already been misleading the public and misappropriating funds. He can't even prove he has two accounts to say that they're frozen. He's never shown any evidence on that. So, if he's doing things under this so-called LLC, that's embezzlement. I mean, he's out here playing reckless. And then let's not forget about the cyber crimes, the harassment, the bullying, the doxing, sicking his sycophants on people to roll up and pull up on them, to do violent acts, threatening people, putting their livelihood and their lives in danger because he's throwing a tantrum and no one cares. Umar, no one cares about your stupid tantrum. And I told you all a long time ago. Um, he can't pull that stunt where he trying to pull up on everybody. Some people gonna have some law enforcement and SWAT and some sharpshooters and snipers waiting for his ass to pull around that corner. Him and his little cult members. Y'all pull that stunt if you want to. You won't make it out of here in one piece. I'm gonna tell you that right now. By the time I'm done telling them exactly what's all in your car and what you might possibly have on your person, they're going to demand that you stop the car, get out, and just immediately get on the ground. I don't play games like that. I don't play that. Like that's the stuff like that works when you put fear in people and you have people feel as if they got to be in fear of their life and their safety, like he's doing with Marianne Lorient. She's not playing that either. Y'all, she done tried to report this man previously to the police, and unfortunately, they told her where there's no crime. I mean, a protection order would be best for her. But if he tries to threaten her life, yes, that's a matter of, let me tell you something. That's a whole FBI complaint waiting to happen. Where you're threatening to do physical harm to someone's life. And you're doing it across the state. So that interstate crime will fall under the FBI. It will fall under their jurisdiction. You can't do that nonsense. It's something else. Child, it's coming to a federal court near us soon. Umar, I told y'all, Umar got it coming. Everybody don't play those games. So he got it coming. Y'all hit that like button. Hit the like button. Be ready to see Umar, answer to the law at this point. Hit that like button and drop a red heart in the chat once you've hit that like button. I want to get to this interview with Jamar. I've already saved a couple of your videos in the watch later. If it's something we need to watch like right now that's urgent, please let me know. The lounge, don't leave me in suspense. I can't take it. If not, I'm definitely going to check him out. And we're going to go live tomorrow because I want to go through all of the Danza Project interviews that he did, even though I know it's going to piss me off. Because it has to be the worst softball interview ever. I mean, it to me, it's no different than what you get with him on Father Baba Yaga, Father Moses channel or radio, whatever that is, a podcast, radio show. It's almost the same thing, except we're seeing all of this in person, and it's with what looks like to be a Hispanic man. I don't have anything against Hispanic people, but Umar's the one walking around here always talking about, snow bunnies never, black queens forever. You can't even be, Latino. I mean, the racism he throws out there is unnecessary. Umar, no one cares about what you think is melanin and who's black and who's African and who's not. That's so irrelevant now. And I mean, deep down, he doesn't care. Y'all, he's a womanizer. He doesn't care what color, race, or anything, how much melanin they have. He doesn't care about any of that. A womanizer does not care about the complexion of a woman's skin. They just want it to be a woman. Bottom line. That's what's so disgusting about him. So, let's see here. I just want to make sure I get you all. The Lady Luck Club, what if Umar puts the moves on you to seduce you? Umar will get a bat across his head. If you hit him in the belly, he might spit up chocolate milk. Who knows? Yeah, I saw a clip today. I promise you not. This is going to be the last thing I'm going to say before we get started. I saw a clip today of a movie where, what's his name? That played Professor X in the new X-Men, the new class. He was in this film with, I don't know, it was like a African overlord or something like that. Dude was talking about belly pains, right? So he goes in, and this is a movie. And he runs in and he's trying to help the guy. He's like a doctor and he's stumping around on his belly and he's like trying to touch his stomach, and the dude is like, oh, they're trying to kill me, they're trying to poison me, and dude is just like thumping around, and he hears something, and it sounds like a hollow sound. And so James McAvoy, that's his name, James McAvoy. Thank you, Saint. James McAvoy. He gets a baseball bat, and then he asks the guy, okay, get out of bed for me. Can you come over here and get out of the bed for me? And then he gets behind the guy with this baseball bat at his belly. He sits him down in the chair, and then he says, on the count of 3, I want you to stand up. And as soon as that man stood up, y'all, I don't know if he was a prince or a president, but as soon as James McAvoy counted to 3 and the guy stood up, do y'all know what he did? He farted. He passed gas for like 16 seconds straight. Y'all, the dude was in there dying. He thought somebody was trying to poison him. And he had gas. That's what Umar looked like. Umar looked like he's stuck on inflation mode. You hit his belly with a bat, he gonna spit up chocolate milk, I promise. And a little Debbie Swiss roll. Oatmeal cream pie is gonna start oozing out the side of his ass. Yeah, it's all kinds of mysteries inside his belly. Child boo. It's so crazy. It's like, you dude, you can't seduce no one as sloppy looking as he is. A real woman, let me tell you this. Real women don't like none of that. I mean, even if you have a little belly or something like that, you still need to show you working, you actually out, contributing to society. You can be useful to humanity. Umar has none of those things. He won't even clean a toilet properly. There's nothing you can do to seduce me. Once I've seen you clean a toilet with a rag, and you taking that dookie water, and you're not even using gloves. Or if you're using gloves, you're using the same gloves to do everything. Touching on the door handles, touching on basketballs, you touching on your phone. You're probably eating with them gloves on. Like, this is the type of slob that you're dealing with here. There is nothing sexy about that. Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa. Now Aaron Pierre can walk up in here. Y'all won't hear from me for a month. I'm gonna tell you that right now. This is gonna be a done deal. We're getting married. Then. I can't seduce nobody at this point. And if any woman is somehow regaled and somehow under his trance and find him sexy, they need a mental health. They need a mental health check. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Any woman that falls to his so-called advances, they need help. They need some real help. So, y'all, let's get to it. We're ready to get to the interview with Lord Jamar. Are y'all ready? Because, yeah, it's gonna be a long one. Yeah, that dude stood up and farted. Y'all know Umar walking around here like he got choco milk in his belly. Oh, child. All right, what's going on 170 Mo? And we'll get to the lounge. If you're still here at the end, hold on. Black Anonymous probably so because he went on the platform numerous times. This is why I believe these other platforms stop interviewing him because they be involved with the feds. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't want him on my channel at all. Cross-examination Tunde. Yeah, ain't that sexy about that? The way you clean a toilet like a slob. Umar can't even clean a toilet sexy. Like, it's everything about him is just slob level. The gym looked like a hurricane from, Trashville, USA. It's terrible. The way he lives, we've seen your room, Umar. You don't even clean up your room. So, no, there's nothing sexy about that. He's disgusting. All right, y'all. Let's get to it. This is Umar. And the lounge, please let me know which video we need to check out after this, because we will. We sure will. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see it here. Give a shout out to Jamar. Thank you for dealing with this clown for this is 2 hours long. We're not gonna do the whole thing, but we're gonna get most of it in. Let's go. right, let me just go through all this music stuff.
Okay. Well, yeah, we glad to have you here on the Godcast. Build with us. You know what I mean? Um, for those that might be under a rock and doesn't know who Dr. Umar is, why don't you give people a brief a brief bio of yourself, brother?
Sure. I'm a doctor of clinical psychology, a certified school psychologist, which is what I'm most known for professionally. Certified school principal, former child therapist, family therapist, which I still do occasionally for different agencies. Author of the book Psychoacademic Holocaust: The Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys. My second book, my newest book, which is only about 2 weeks old, is Black Parent Advocate: The Art of War for Dealing with America's Public and Charter Schools, which we will be releasing in Harlem the last Friday of the month, October the 30th.
And is that at your law school?
Yes, sir. A law school in Mecca, 2122
7th Avenue.
Powell. Shout out to the guys in Earth for allowing me to have my book released in Harlem. I wanted to come back to Harlem because it's my 10-year anniversary. I first spoke in New York City on October the 30th of 2010. So October the 30th of 2020 is exactly the 10 years, and I spoke at the National Black Theater 125th and 5th. So I wanted to keep it in Harlem. So I'm very thankful to the guys in Earth for letting me do it there. In addition to that, blood relative, kinsman, 4 times great-grand cousin to Frederick Douglass, Bishop Wayman of the AME Church is also a distant uncle. And current.
Okay, we'll check out your live today, the lounge after this, because if you're talking about him being possibly charged, I want to hear that.
We're in the process of building.
Now, is that on your mother's side or father's side?
Both on the father's side.
Okay.
In addition to that, we're in the process of building a Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, Wilmington, Delaware. We purchased 4 buildings February of 2019, 1 week before Frederick Douglass's 201st birthday. And we're in the process of getting the smaller school, which is the Honorable Marcus Garvey building. We're trying to get that ready by the new year. Renovations have begun. The roof has been repaired. We're working on the plumbing, the electric, the HVAC now. God willing, keeping our fingers crossed, we'll have that building ready to go by the new year. We're a little short on the cash, so we're asking brothers and sisters.
Someone dropped a year for this video. I believe it's 2019, but correct me if I'm wrong. There's a question in the chat about what year is this.
To keep on donating, please get on your Cash App, $ FDMG School. Get on your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy, or mail in your donation to the FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Former Minister of Education, Marcus Garvey's UNIA, founder of the National Independent Black Parent Association. Education and mental health is what I do, along with the greater goal of international liberation for all African people as a Pan-Africanist.
Oh, okay. God, he just said a whole lot.
Let's get into a little bit. You're from Philly, yes?
Born and raised, still here.
Raised. So how does a young kid from Philly become a doctor, a clinical psychologist, or a child psychologist and all that? That doesn't seem like the normal path for your average kid from Philly.
True.
What led you down that road?
2 institutions that played a very large role in my life.
None of them were
about
school.
5 blocks from each other. And one is the George G. Meade Elementary School, where I received my Black history instruction during the 4th and the 5th grade. And about 5 blocks away from that is the international headquarters, Division 121 of the Marcus Garvey movement, the UNIA ACL. So public speaking began for me at Meade Elementary, and it transcended a few blocks away once I joined the UNIA after I graduated from Millersville University when I came out of undergrad. But specifically speaking to becoming a psychologist, I've always wanted to be that. Since I was a 3rd grader, I wanted to help children.
Why?
Because I'm the oldest boy of my mother's children, and I didn't have a big brother.
So
I decided I wanted to be the big brother for all the children who would need one.
So how does that address him wanting to help children, though? I mean, was it because someone had a learning disability, or someone had some sort of physical ailment, or because, so far he's just saying from just a mentorship. He could have been a mentor. Doesn't mean that you submit a horribly written dissertation to try to get a doctorate degree, though.
As they grew up.
No,
that was it. That was the answer.
I can kind of relate as being a big brother. You're the one that, you're the pioneer for a lot of knowledge, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, you're the one that ends up teaching the ones under you. So that does end up becoming sometimes just a natural fit for an older brother. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, so you said the school had to do with Pan-Africanism as well.
Well, the school was Black history.
Okay.
The school was Black History. I always say I was a Pan-Africanist before I knew what Pan-Africanism was, because the red, black, and green flag just always naturally vibrated with me, even before joining the UNIA. And I grew up right around the corner. I grew up, I would say, the most significant childhood home where I lived, where I was from 4th grade until my junior year of college. Walking is probably 1, 2, 3. It's literally about 6 blocks away from the UNIA, but I never knew it was there. I did not learn about the UNIA being where it was until I graduated from undergrad in 1997. So ironically, my mother bought all of my sneakers for school and for play right next door to the UNIA. So my whole life, we were going right next door to the Garvey movement, and I never knew it until I came out of college.
Now, for those who might know, what is Pan-Africanism? Explain the concept of Pan-Africanism.
To sum it up in 4 principles, and Garveyism is simply the highest stage of Pan-Africanism. The first principle, all African people are one family. We believe in one race, one family, one people. So whether you in New York speaking English, whether you in South Africa speaking Zulu.
Okay, so this is, and I want to do this only because I do want to get to the lounge's video. So there's a shorter video. It's like 26 minutes that kind of sums up, I guess, or just shows the best parts of this, because this is 2 hours long. So for the sake of brevity, do you all mind we just check out the 26-minute video? Is that all right? Because I want to get to, as you all can see, I got her video sitting up in here. The lounge video. I have your video over here. The one you did for tonight about the possible charges. I really want to get to that. So is it okay if we get the 26-minute video in? Can we just do that? Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Put a 1 in the chat, or we can just watch the shortened version of this, so that way we can get in the other video of what we have. I have not seen the full Jamar interview. I just simply have it. I told you guys I'm still researching about Umar myself. But this 26-minute video is actually probably going to be a lot better, and it kind of addresses, I guess, the main important parts about the interview. So we could do that. That would be awesome. And I'll speed it up a little bit. That way we can just make the most of the show and get some salacious news in here from the lounge, because I really want to see what's going on with these charges or possible charges. Let me say that. Possible charges, because I don't want nobody walking around and talking about later. Let's say we're going to be charged. Possible charges. I want to see that video at the lounge. So let's do the 26-minute video. If you guys are good with that. All right, let's do it. All right, some of y'all, most of y'all said let's do it. All right, let's go.
To be evaluated for learning disabilities.
Hold on. Let me go back, because he go right into it on this.
I had the idea to open a school since I was in college.
Okay.
That idea became more serious when I became an assistant principal. It became even more serious when I became a principal. It was further intensified by being a school psychologist, because they're sending me kids to be evaluated for learning disabilities and autism and ADHD and conduct disorder and emotional disturbances, and nothing's wrong with these babies. They can learn fine. The only problem is they've never been taught. So the pain and agony of fighting for our children every day, fighting their teachers, some of them Black, it wasn't all white people, some of them Black, fighting their parents, nothing's wrong with your child. They don't have a learning disability, they have a lazy disability. I want y'all to hear me when I say that. Most of our children in special ed in America do not have a learning disability. They can read if they want to. They can learn how to do math if they want to. They have a lazy disability, and nobody's making them do their best. And so all of that professional pain is what drove me to finally taking the steps necessary, Sister Rod, Brother Jamar, to open up my own school. My first donation for the FDMG
Mhm.
was taken in St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out to St. Louis. The spring of 2014.
Exactly.
Shout out to St. Louis,
y'all be seeing stuff saying he been raising money for 10 years. That's a damn lie. The
Prove
first
us wrong.
donation
You clown.
was
Let me tell you something, Umar. When it comes to you and this money, you understand that PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, they have backup servers. Okay, so when he thinks that he's just clearing something out or deleting something, it's not fully deleted on their end, on the end of PayPal or Cash App. So if the FBI or the IRS needs to get a subpoena to get a list of donations, contributions, to see money transferring from a Cash App to a bank account or a card, they can get that information. So for him to even say that it's a lie, he acts as if the truth, the documentation can never be discovered. Knowing that he's a pathological liar, y'all, he lies like he's breathing air. It's so easy for him to lie. Look at how calm he is. He's not disturbed. He's not passing gas or burping as he lies. The only real tick he has is him blinking or squinting his eyes. Or he just won't look in the camera. But that's about it. He has no physiological reaction to lying because he lies so much.
Spring of 14.
Look at his squinting eyes.
St. Louis, Missouri. There was brothers and sisters there. It was a jam-packed house.
So what?
Okay. And we raised that money to pay the attorney to enter a bid in order to try and purchase the St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Virginia, which was a former HBCU built by a close friend of Booker T. Washington and George Washington Carver. That was our original goal. Raise $2 million real quick and get the HBCU. We were unsuccessful.
And this was 6 years ago, you said, yes?
That was the spring of 2014.
Okay.
And St. Paul's was sold about 2 or 3 years later to the Chinese. And that is an insult to our ancestors. We let the Chinese buy an HBCU.
Okay, what about the money?
With all these black millionaires. That's an insult.
Oh, the Chinese and the Japanese come in and they fucking buy up all kind of shit. Like I remember when the hot records to sample and shit from hip hop.
Yeah.
They came from Japan and all that and went to all the record stores in New York and all, where and bought up all the records, took them back over there. And now a record that might have cost $60, $70 over there, over here, costs like $400 in their record store over there. Yeah, it's crazy. And people will buy that shit over there. It's retarded. All right, so you
So it's been
started
6.5
getting the money,
years now.
started getting donations. From what I understand, you raised about $750,000, yes?
Well said.
$750,000.
Okay, so he raised 750 grand.
About 20 months ago, you end up purchasing 2 buildings, yes?
4 buildings.
4 buildings, okay.
Okay.
2 schools, 4 buildings.
2 schools, 4 buildings for $400,000.
It was more than that.
How much was it? Okay, why lie about it? Here's the thing. Why even lie about it? Because now you have to explain the variation of what's left over. Now you have to explain the balance. You raised $750,000 in 2019. Why is it that he gets mad when Lennon Honor says, at this point in the year of our Lord 2025, he's raised well over $2 million? If you're saying in this interview from 2019 that you raised, this is 5 years ago, 2020. If you raised 5 years ago $750,000, why is it so fantastical to believe that he's raised well over $2 million 5 years later? And plus, let's not forget what he puts down on those tax statements, on the tax forms that he sends over to the IRS. So if you add up the contributions, he's listed. He's the executive director listed on the tax form 990s for 5 years in a row. And the contributions that are listed will equal up to well over $750,000 between 2020 and 2025. And this would be for tax years 2019 to 2024. Well over $750,000. So if you paid more money for these buildings, where, mind you, he went on Father Moses' channel saying that he was only going to open one. He was only going to open the smaller school. Why did you purchase the second building? And why is it that the smaller school is still not open? He self-snitches so bad that he has no idea how hypocritical and idiotic he sounds. The contradiction is astounding to me. And he's so smart, right? You know, because he claims to be smart. With 6 degrees, where he can't prove all 6. Because he thinks that having a major and a minor somehow is still 2 separate degrees, even though you can have a major and a minor in 1 degree. This is how stupid smart he is. You can't make this up. You just can't make this up.
Everybody wants to know.
He's so smart, stupid.
Where's the extra money? Where'd the extra money go? And why is it taking so long to open this school? Like people feel like, and I'm not just going to say people feel, because I'm also going to share a story with you as well.
Yes,
but people feel like, you know, the time that 6 years is just a very long time to be raising money.
Duh,
you know what I mean? And to finally get the buildings that you ended up getting that are in disrepair and all of that. And I think it's the transparency that people are looking for. A lot of people are looking for you to be more transparent, and when they don't see this transparency, it makes them feel, you know, skeptical.
Okay. Let me speak to some of that.
We're all doubting.
Okay.
Umar's a
Number
liar.
1, I'm transparent with my donors. I'm transparent.
Now I'm being told that they're, you know, people say when your donors will ask certain things, they said you will sometimes block them and all this type of stuff.
That is not true. Those are not donors. Those are haters. My donors have direct access to me. I talk to them. I know who they are.
First of all, you don't know, you have donors that do ask. So he automatically sees you as a hater the moment you ask, where's the money, Umar? Umar, where's the money? You have those packages, those tiered packages on your website because you don't have a school website. See, here's the thing. Let's go back to the beginning of how business works. Wouldn't you naturally buy a domain? You know, because the Danza Project failed to do their homework in their shitty ass interview that they did with Umar. They didn't even ask him about a school website. School website. They didn't even bother to ask Umar Johnson, where is the school website? How is it that you've raised all this money and you could not purchase a domain for a school website? Forget the buildings, because he only had the intentions of opening the smaller building anyway. So forget the building. Where's the school website? How are you going to enroll students into this school? How the hell does that work? What's the application process to enroll a student? The fact that none of that has been even laid out on a website should trouble every person, including James Miller, you clown. Everybody should be asking, how the hell are the kids going to enroll in school? We've already seen how he's tried to solicit resumes, you know, for teachers and stuff. And he was really only going to hire women that he liked. It was just going to be one big sexual harassment case waiting to happen here. Umar is not somebody that can handle business. And yet he thinks that if you haven't opened a school, you don't know what you're doing. When Umar does not have a school website. But that would be business 101. Get a website. Get a business card. Make a name for yourself. How do you tell people about the school with no website, no way to relay information about it? And then on top of that, you have the audacity to say, if you are asking me about a balance, you're just a hater, you know, because Hey.
Most of them are repeat donors. My donors range everywhere from Black professionals. I have lawyers, I have engineers, I have business owners, all the way down to the retired great grandmom who's sending me $10 a month because she want to see this plan come to fruition. Haters don't donate, donors don't hate. So my accountability is only to those who donate.
you just don't
I want to be very clear about that. It's only to those who donate. So people who ask random questions, they'll never get answers because you don't support this. Now, with that being said, let me also say this.
How is the money being spent? Where's the general ledger or an expense report? Can you print out the donations from your PayPal and Cash App? Because PayPal, the company, and Cash App sure can, especially if they were to be subpoenaed. Where's the school website? Where are you keeping the materials when you're hiring these so-called vendors and they're doing construction? Why didn't you talk about the fire? Where are the photos from that? How about a police report from the vandalism you reported? I have so many questions that are very simple, Umar. Simple ass questions to ask you where your simple ass thought process still can't answer. You know, because you're an idiot.
The other question that you ask, which is often asked.
I'm on one today.
6 years, he don't have the school yet. I'm not to blame for that. The community is to blame for that. I cannot manifest the school out of thin air. Schools cost money. They're not houses. They're commercial property. But because we're not used to
where he doesn't even want to pay the water bill or the vacant property registration fees because a court had to order his dumb ass to do it. Yeah, that's reasons.
To building things exclusively with Black dollars, we don't understand how long it takes to get that done. I'm not a charter school. I'm not a public school. My school isn't going to subsist on white handouts and government funding. My school is grassroots Pan-African Academy. So it'll take as long as it takes until we raise the money to achieve the goal.
Which would be 1,000 years.
Why the school ain't up yet? Because we're not raising enough money. But guess who don't have?
Because he has no intentions on opening the school. But guess what? He still has not done. Corrected his tax returns. Umar, what is your job? What is your job? Because you list yourself as executive director, but you have no salary listed. What is your job? How do you earn revenue? How do you earn income? How are you paying bills? How do you eat? You know, the Bible says that the man that does not work does not eat. Your fat ass should be starving, Umar. You should be homeless on the street starving. How are you eating? You don't have a job. You don't have revenue. Unless you're really using those donation dollars for yourself. To which the IRS would not appreciate that one little bit. He's sitting here getting mad because people are asking him, why isn't a school open after 6.5 years? You can't make this up. Thank you, Manny, for dropping. Shout out to Uncle Mo. TV is up in here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button as well. Thank you so much, Manny. Shout out to my mods for dropping the link for Uncle Mo TV's YouTube channel. Y'all, you can't make this up. Thank you so much, Lord. Check out Dr. Squash products that will be tagged in the description of this video. I do get a commission on the products that are sold, and it will go back to this channel, especially to get some lighting and a bigger desk. All right. Thank y'all so much for the reminders. Yeah, Umar's got to be a child. He's a size 20 in pants. All right, let's get back to Dookie Juice talking nonsense about something.
Have to ask those questions. The owner of Quaker Grits, because Negroes give them $11 million a year. Guess who don't have to ask that question? Nike and Air Jordan, because Negroes give them
they get a product.
$4 billion, $2 billion a year. Malt liquor, $4 billion a year. Weave, perm, and beauty products, $30 billion a year.
All products.
Fast food, $1 billion a year. They don't have to ask.
All products that we get when we purchase. When I go to the store to get a pair of pants, I'm getting the pants when I purchase it. You're asking people to give you money for a school that they're not getting in return right now. You're wanting them to make an investment, Umar. You know, a word that you can't define or spell. This is an investment because you're not delivering a product right away or even a service. And no one is seeing a return on their investment. And this is why he doesn't let big donors come in, because he knows they would hold him to the fire. They will hold him accountable. Meanwhile, you have the Umar Tardians that can't even ask, where is the school website? Let's start with that. School website.
The Europeans and the Jews and the Chinese and the Arabs, they don't have to ask how long it's going to take them to get that Negro money. We give it freely.
Yeah,
but
we
when one of our own steps up with the track record, the experience, the credentials, and the resume to do something like build a school to save Black boys with the hell that Black boys are catching in this country, we don't support him because, number one, we don't want him to get the credit. Number two, we don't want the responsibility of doing for self. And number three, you understand, we want to find an excuse to keep on depending on white folks. So that's really the answer to that. But I want to answer your other piece. You said, what you do with the leftover money? When you open up the interview tonight, I dropped the donation information. I said, get on your Cash App, $ FDMG School. I said, get on your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. I said, mail in your checks or money orders, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. I also said, if you remember, I said, we are running short on the repair money. We don't have it all. We have most of it, but we don't have it all to cover the repairs of the Garvey building. So to me, it is a very common sense question, something that I don't even think needs to be asked. For somebody to say, what are you doing with the leftover money? We're paying for security so people don't vandalize the property like they've already
What security?
done. You understand? We have to
wait. That would be a vendor or a contractor, Umar. What's the permit for that? See, when you say that all these things are happening, especially if they involve vendors or contractors, you need permits for that. What's the permit? Where's the contract itself? Or at least an RFP? Where's a vendor invoice to show that you're paying for security service? I'm sorry, to all those who live in the city of Wilmington, anywhere near that school, or for those who've been there at any given time between 2019 and 2020, did you ever see security there? Did you see any security? And I'm talking about human security guards. In person, not a balloon, a fake camera that doesn't work, an actual human being serving as security guard outside of that school at any given time between 2019 and 2020. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen it. Put a 2 in the chat if you're saying, Lady Luck Club, why are you asking us this stupid ass question?
Pay for repairs. We have to pay taxes, upkeep, things of that nature. That's what we're doing with the extra money.
God.
The electric system has to be repaired. The plumbing system has to be repaired. We just paid for the roofs to be repaired. The carpentry has to be redone. You understand? We have to do the fire alarm system, the sprinkler system. We have to pay for the building permits. There's a lot of expenses. We have to pay for the grass to be cut. That's not cheap. We have to pay for the grounds to be monitored. There's a lot of costs that.
The most expensive permit that I saw was like $497 on the website. Umar, you're not spending a whole lot of money on permits. They're ranging between $36 to $55, maybe $75. The most expensive being around $300-400. You're not spending a whole lot of money on permits. You barely have them. He barely has permits. He barely gets a permit. So the 610 location only has 2 on file, and both of them are dealing with a fire. One of them is a permit just for a general fire report that has no information on it. The other one shows that a general construction came out to do some internal cleaning on 4 rooms that were damaged by fire, even though he keeps saying 2. This is what, in the other building, the 611 location, had about, I want to say 8 or 9 permits, maybe 10. Most of them were already expired. Only one was in the reviewing status. The rest of them were expired. He makes it seem as if he's still spending money on this stuff when he's not.
Goes into maintaining
You can't make this
two
stuff up, man.
schools, not one, two. And for
But he
me,
was only trying to open
I'm
one.
happy because we were only looking to get one school, brother and sister. We ended up with two. And to all those coons and trolls who say the buildings are trash, do you realize the 4 buildings we got are state-of-the-art modern schools? They are not old schools like the ones we went to.
They used to be
That
Goodwill.
campus
Stop
was
it. You can't, the lies that he tells. They used to be Goodwill Industries, Umar. What are you talking about, state of the art? Those buildings were once upon a time Goodwill Industries. Then they became a Moyer Institute. And then they became FDMG. And they're still not FDMG because FDMG is not a place, it's a cult.
Renovated at a cost of $13 million in 2011,
Those schools are open
9 years ago. And the only reason why we have to renovate is because the building was not secured by the previous owner, which allowed people to get in and do what? Strip the electrical system.
I was about to say, steal the copper.
The plumbing system. Strip the HVAC system. Whenever you and Rod Digger ready, only you two and your other brother, Godfrey, y'all can drive on down and I will give you a tour. And when you walk through them schools, you tell me if those buildings is trash. First of all,
Jamar, did Jamar ever get that tour? Rod Digger and Jamar, did they ever get the tour? Hey, y'all, let me know. I'm seriously asking. Did Jamar and Rod Digger ever get that inside exclusive tour? He said he would give it to these 3 people. He named another person. Did they ever get the tours? Because I want to see it. I'm sure Jamar would have posted it up or did a live stream.
Rod Digger ready. Only you two and your other brother, Godfrey. Y'all can drive on down and I will.
So Godfrey, Jamar, Rod Digger. Did any of those 3 people post up any videos of a tour that was done? Please let me know.
I'll give you a tour. And when you walk through them schools, you tell me if those buildings are trash. First of all, the buildings are in excellent shape. Excellent shape. We just got an offer for one of the buildings over more than $1 million. That sounds like trash to you.
Sell it, you idiot.
Okay, here's where I share a little story, brother.
Here's a little story.
So it just so happens that my wife's family has a lot of educators in it. Her sister is a principal of a school right now. Her mother was a teacher, and her father was and is a principal, who actually ended up.
So Jamar never got the tour because he got mad. Shout out to Goddess. No, because Umar got mad at Jamar and closed his laptop. You can't make this up. I told y'all Umar is on his menstrual cycle, child.
Making his own school in
Somebody
East
send
New
him
York,
a pad.
It's called the Trey Whitfield School. You can look it up.
Oh my God. Welcome back, Dr. CB.
So he's been doing this since like 1983. And how he started was he started small. He started with 3 portable trailers that were behind like a church. Nobody was doing anything with them. And he went to the church because he was a principal like you. And he said, guess he got the same inspiration to start his own thing. So he talked to the people at the church. He ended up negotiating some sort of rent where he had to pay $500 a month per trailer. And he had like 280 kids. Now, he didn't have a lot of money. He didn't have a lot of donations and stuff like that. So what did he do? He said like a lot of schools and stuff, they would just throw out old desks and books and stuff like that. He'd go around to different schools and get desks. He'd go to the Board of Education and they'd give him stuff that they were getting rid of, you know what I mean, that they didn't want, books, whatever, all kind of different supplies. So he was using his resources. He did this till about the year 2000, where he then sees like a 4-story big ass building,
Okay.
Something pretty comparable to what you're talking about. Actually, it might be bigger than it might be like those buildings combined, the ones that you bought. But this is in Brooklyn in East New York, like right off Atlantic Avenue. So anyway, he gets to this building. He said he didn't have $1 for the building, but he goes to the man. He's like, "Yo, I want to get this building for a school," and the guy's like,
Uh-oh.
yeah, well, he tells him whatever, I don't know, whatever the price was. And he's like, listen, I ain't got no money. But what I do have is I got a friend who's he's like the president of a bank or something like that. And he'll give me a loan, to renovate the place and all that. And if I miss whatever, any payments or something like that, then y'all will just have a free building renovated. You can take the building back and you'll get this shit renovated for free.
Uh-oh.
So he
Here it
ended up
comes.
getting in there.
Let's go.
And that was in the year 2000. When the year 2020, and this school now has gone on. It's a black school. They don't take no government grants or nothing like that. He does fundraisers and all this. He knows some people in the sports industry and all. Because he used to play football back in the days.
What's the name of the school?
It's called the Trey Whitfield School. Now, I talked to him. He's willing to sit down with you and give you any tips or anything like that of how he did it. You know what I mean? And how he continues to do it. Because this man, and he's been on CNBC, all kind of other stuff like that. But the thing is, he doesn't even have the type of notoriety that you have. You know what I mean? And yeah, and this man was able to
crash
make it
out?
happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Hit the
this
like
man
button
was
for the
able
crash out.
to just put his thing, into fruition, use his resources. So maybe we're feeling like, yo, money is the answer for everything. But sometimes it's our resources. How about, could you donate your time or something to help instead of the money to fix something? How about y'all come in and donate your time to help build up the school or something like that? You see, it's not always about money. It's about the people that you know. It's about a lot of different things.
Okay.
For 700,000, I feel like maybe we could have got a piece of land and just built from the ground up, and it could have been turned out cheaper. I don't know. We have to look into a lot of things, and this is a big undertaking that I feel like, you might need some help with it, brother. What do you think?
Well, a couple things. I want to deal with your assumption that I might need some help.
Zesty.
Most of my friends are educators. Most of my elders are educators and psychologists. That is my field. So it's kind of interesting when someone who's an expert in something, and I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to the detractors who say I can help him with that. This is
I think they're talking about the real estate part of it. Not you're an educator, but not a real estate guy. You see,
but we already have the real estate, so that's not even an issue.
Right, but did we choose the right real estate? Did we take the money and do the
brother.
best fiduciary thing with the money?
Brother. I just told you that the school that we got was a $13 million project 9 years ago in excellent shape. We got a steal for that campus. It was a steal. It was the best thing I could have possibly got. I have no regrets. Okay. See, that's when we start feeding into the lies. That's why you got to come see the school, my brother.
Absolutely.
And see it for yourself. Because you have people telling you that the school ain't in good shape. The school is in excellent shape, which is why we're getting offers for it now. It's in excellent shape, brother. The classrooms don't even have to be.
Black mold, ceiling tiles missing. He keeps saying floors need to be done. You clearly see that there's a plumbing issue, some water damage. He's got some foundational issues he's got to address. Not one inspection has been done by the city to take care of the black mold. And he's sitting here talking about excellent shape when that mold has been growing outside of those buildings since the day he got them. And mind you, he only planned on opening the smaller building. See how that goes. And then was going to do the second building, the larger school, after that. And who knows how long it would have taken to get that done. So we know he's already told on himself with that. He had no intentions on opening both schools at the same time. He said it himself. And you can check out my live stream from yesterday. He told Father Moses this, Baba Yaga. And he said, I intended only to open the smaller school, the smaller building. First, do a trial run, see how it goes. And then if that were to turn out okay, we were going to open the bigger school. So for him to even be saying half of this shit he's saying goes to show he had no intention on opening anything to begin with. Something worth $13 million project? What? But he said he spent $750,000. Why even give that number if you spent millions? Why say $750,000? Wouldn't you want people to think you spent more on the buildings to cover more of the money that's been raised? Why would you say $750,000 if there's a chance that there's a balance left over that you don't want to explain and account for? This is how stupid Umar is. And he got the audacity to get zesty with Jamar.
We just have to fix the electrical system, the HVAC system, and the plumbing system. So I don't need help with the real estate. We were blessed with that.
Y'all, look at how zesty he
is.
is.
As far as your brother's school, I support him.
That's my father-in-law. My father-in-law.
He said his father-in-law. You being rude, Umar.
The website.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to that brother.
Yes, sir.
But what I'm doing ain't that. I want to be absolutely
He said
clear.
he don't need help.
The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy will be America's first school based off the principles of Pan-African nationalism and international economics. That's not what I'm doing, bro. I have a totally different concept from him. You understand? So if
the concept could be different, but the implementation of how
it's put. I don't need his help implementing, brother, because I'm a certified school psychologist and a certified school principal who's experienced, who got a whole cadre of educators. So y'all keep making these things. He needs to talk. No, I don't.
Oh, but you don't know how to open a school. You're not a contractor. You're not electrician. You're not a plumber. You have no idea how roofing and tiles work or laws regarding the weight of such. You have no idea how any of that works. He doesn't even get permits for all of the vendors that come out and do anything to those buildings. He won't even show us a police report for this alleged vandalism act or the fire. He can't even tell us the exact number of rooms that were damaged in a fire. He said on Father Baba Yaga's channel or radio show that a brand new Mercedes-Benz SUV drove into the small gym and was set on fire. But no fire report, no police report, nobody captured that on camera. Not a 911 call, none of that shit happened. And he talking about he don't need help.
I don't know who I got.
But then why is somebody, you have all these credentials, then why is this man who we don't know was able to put his school together in a few months and it's taking you 6 years, brother?
6 years is nothing for a school. I can show you 10 charter schools where the money is coming from the state.
Pull it up.
It took them almost a decade to get open, brother. You
Name
don't open up a school in a year or two. I don't know your brother.
So zesty.
And I don't care to know it. I don't care to know it.
He said he didn't care to know it. What the hell? Look how zesty he is. Y'all, look at his freeze frame. Look at his freeze frame of his zesty ass sitting here throwing a tantrum like a 2-year-old toddler because he can't get his little Debbie snack cake. Oh, child. He said, I don't care to know it.
It's a decade to get open, brother. You don't
That's a
open
lie.
Up school in a year or two. I don't know your brother's story, and I don't care to know it. I don't care to know it.
Why not, though? If it could be helpful to you, why wouldn't you care to know it if it could be helpful to you?
Brother, I have friends who own schools. Do you understand that?
I
have friends who own schools. So if I need to talk to someone who owns a school, I already got that. I got what I need. The only thing missing from my equation is enough funds to complete the task. That's it.
But you won't say what you did with the other money. He won't say what he did with the $750,000. He won't say exactly how much he raised. He won't show receipts. He won't show vendor invoices. He won't show any of that. He won't show how any of that money has been spent. And if you ask, you're a hater because he's an idiot. As if the IRS and the FBI will give two damns about how he feels. You can't make this up. He said, okay, no.
That's it.
God.
The school is not open yet because I don't have enough funds to do it that
It's
way.
not open because you're
I'm not
spending the
going
money
to
on
no bank.
bullshit.
Maybe we
I'm not taking that loan now.
maybe we need fundraising different
Brother,
fundraising methods. Maybe the
Yes,
people
and-
that
and-
we
and-
go
and
to.
we have that in place, but what I want you to understand, it takes time to build institutions. I ain't got no problem with where we are. I'm loving where we at.
Why?
We got our plans done by the engineer. We got our electrician chosen. I'm meeting with my HVAC
Get him,
this
Jamar.
weekend. I got my
That's too
plumber
much
on
scary.
standby. Roofer did his job. Carpenter lined up. We doing what we need to do on the time frame we doing it in. I
He
don't
lying.
need no help outside of the team I got, which is filled with experts from the East Coast to the West Coast, brother.
Who are those experts again? Because we saw videos of him pulling in random people off the street, asking them if they knew how to do floors and construction. One of the vendors was literally somebody that pulled up out of nowhere. And he didn't even check that guy's credentials. Who are these experts? Name them. Because none of the permits reflected experts at all, Umar. See, what you fail to realize, Umar, is that there are people who know how to read. You don't. But there are people out there who do know how to read and know how to research and look at permits to see, based on the vendors that have been named on those permits, we could just Google those people and see that none of them are the top tier experts in the land. One of them, we saw you literally draft off the street. You had no idea who he was. You never asked for his credentials at all. And yet you hired him, allegedly, to clean up and do internal cleaning on 4 rooms of fire damage where you have no information about a fire report. Clearly, the fire department came out, but where's the fire report? And I'm talking about a detailed fire report. But he got that contractor off the street. He's lying through his yellow stained tartar filled teeth.
Okay, brother. I mean, these are definitely the answers
Yeah,
that
you
people
can't make
want to
this
know.
stuff
They
up,
want to.
man. Y'all hit the like
I'm not
button.
interested in people. I'm interested in donors, brother.
He want money.
But in order for
Everybody-
you to get donors, though, you're gonna
No,
have to
sir,
satisfy
brother.
these.
No, I
Yes,
disagree.
brother.
Well,
But how you gonna
disagree
get
with you.
donors
And I'm
if
gonna
you
tell
don't
you why I
sat?
disagree. You
If
know why I
I'm
disagree with you?
listen, if I'm considering to be a donor, but I have certain questions that I want answered, I feel like
Can
that's
I tell you why
legitimate.
that's bullshit? Can
Why?
I tell you why that's bullshit?
Why?
Can I?
Go ahead, please.
Because
Respectfully,
he's gonna
I've
lie.
been raising money for 6.5 years, brother. If you ain't doing
That's not a good thing. That is not a good thing, Umar, you idiot. Ifar dumb day. Estupide. Numbskull, no brain. I can keep going with this. That's not a good thing to say. 6.5 years you've been raising money with no progression of the school coming close to being open, and you only intended for the smaller building to be open anyway. So then people will have questions about that. Why the hell aren't both buildings opening at the same time? But yet you've been raising money for both buildings to be opened. Because he's lying. He's a liar. Umar Johnson is a pathological liar, and he can kiss my ass.
up by now, you
I
ain't
know
doing
he
it.
not getting
Your question
zested with
don't matter.
Jamar.
I'm
See,
the
no.
foremost
But
No,
because,
yes,
hold
yes,
up, but
yes.
no,
Yes,
you
brother.
can't assume that in the
that's
6
not an
years
assumption, that's a
everybody
fact.
knows what you're
That's a
doing.
fact.
Wait, hang on.
That's a
Hang,
fact.
hang on. Let me
No, it's
let me
not a fact.
interject here.
If you
I
ain't
think
donate by now, you ain't gonna donate, and that's all right with me.
But what if they didn't know about it? What if they're just finding out about it?
hang on. Let me interject.
Ron Digger? Why Ron Digger? Why are you interjecting, girl? Why are you doing this? Let the men work that out.
To both of you guys' points, to you, brother Umar, I think what what for a lot of people,
girl, he's not making a point. He's just being combative. He's not making a point.
Years, everybody knows what you're doing.
Wait, hang on. Hang on, let me interject here.
I
think
by now you ain't gonna donate, and that's all right with me.
But what if they didn't know about it? What if they're just finding out about it?
Hang on. Let me interject. To both of you guys' points. To you, brother Umar.
Oh,
I think what for a lot of people that may be naysayers or detractors.
I don't care about the naysayers.
But listen, hang on. I don't want you to focus on them. But imagine someone who may just be, who may just be getting acclimated to your situation. Somebody could just be finding out, or maybe when they hear about you, they see the propaganda, they see the negative stuff, but they love the idea. They're in love with the, with the philosophy.
What part did she miss in this, where he doesn't care what anyone thinks? He simply does not want you to ask questions. He just wants you to give him your hard-earned money. That's it. He doesn't care if you just found out or if you knew for 6 years or 3 years or whatever, 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 hours. It doesn't matter. I didn't always research and report on Umar Johnson. I'm still learning. I'm still watching videos. I'm still discovering stuff. But it wouldn't matter to him if I had known that he existed on Earth for 6 years or 6 days. He doesn't want anyone asking him questions, period, because he knows that he would have to answer at some point, especially if it becomes overwhelming. If the questions themselves become overwhelming to where he can't ignore it, you have so much public pressure, which is why he's always hiding out, or when he does come on, he's at an airport eating and stuffing his face with nonsense, with all them clogged arteries he has, or he's scrubbing a nasty, shitty toilet. Like he, trying to do whatever he can to invigorate his cult base to keep giving him money, because he knows they aren't asking him any questions. They're not asking him, why don't you have a school website? How the hell are kids going to enroll? Oh, no, they're not asking anything like that. Because he's not smart enough to know you need a website up and running to have kids enrolled before the school opens. Because if day one comes and it's time to open, you're not going to have kids registering on the day of school. You need to have those students enrolled prior to the school opening. But because he's an idiot, he's not thinking like that. So of course not. Of course he doesn't want you to ask him any questions before you give him your hard-earned money. And he's sitting around as if people owe him that, because he keeps talking about, I'm the most requested something on earth. Umar, you could literally walk into a void right now and I will sleep peacefully in 3 hours. It wouldn't even matter. At least your mother would be free to see her other children. You really believe that you're somebody that you're not. Your dissertation was garbage. You're not that educated. You're not a businessman. You're not trying to open a school. And you're certainly not opening both of the buildings at the same time. You won't show any proof of finances. And you don't want people asking you questions. The worst part about this is that you're too narcissistic to see that at the end of the day, the IRS and the FBI won't give a damn about none of that. Because when they do ask you questions, they will already know the answers to those questions. Please believe that.
So then when they go to research you to try to get more information, they're seeing they're not getting, I guess they're not getting the answers they feel like they to the questions that they want to ask, but they may possibly want to donate, or I'm not referring to the people that's just like, oh, what's he doing? I'm not referring to those people. I'm referring to people that are legitimately believing in your cause, but may possibly,
I agree with you, Queen. But to that, I'll say this quickly. I'm the most accessible black scholar in the world. My cell number is public. My email is public.
You can't make
and guess
this
what?
up.
I do get emails from people. Doc, I just learned about you. Boom, boom, boom. Tell me about the school. We just started a loyal donors campaign the other day. And any of your viewers who are interested in signing up, please do. The Loyal Donors Club is for brothers.
You should not sign up to donate anything when he just said he doesn't want you asking him questions. This is the thing. Like I said, when it's time for those investigations to start, Umar, the FBI will not be asking you questions when they already know the answers to them. They will know the answers. They just want to see what you're going to say. So the IRS, they don't ask questions to expect you to give them an answer. They just want to see if your answer matches the evidence that they already have on you. But since you don't listen to us struggle streamers, then I'm sure, you'll forget all about anything that I'm saying, anything right now regarding an IRS or an FBI, because, you're an idiot. So the fact that he's sitting here asking for people to purchase those pyramid scheme contribution packages that's on his website is absolutely unbelievable. Why would they allow him to do that? Like, Jamar at this point should have said, don't advertise those contribution packages on here. Don't do it. If you don't care about, trying to get other resources or anything, you don't want people asking you questions, do not advertise your pyramid scheme contribution packages on our platform. Keep that to yourself. That's exactly what he should have said.
Brothers and sisters who want to consistently donate $50 a month for bronze,
see that,
$100 a month for
those
silver,
contribution packages,
$250 a month for gold,
pyramid scheme,
$500 a month for platinum, and $1,000 a month for diamond. We just started that 48 hours ago. Anybody who wants those links, text my cell number, please. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. They will also be put in a WhatsApp group where they will get all the updates that they want. For those who can't afford to make a consistent donation, they can go to the Cash App, $ FDMG School, or the PayPal, FDMG Academy, or mail in the check or money order. They can text me for the address. It's also on the website. Here's what I would say to that, Sister Ra. They do reach out to me, and they do ask me questions, and I answer them.
He just don't answer them. No, he doesn't. Where's the school website, Umar? You clown.
Questions. Here's what I'm saying. A lot of the questions that are being posed, right?
Yeah, because he will say this nonsense.
Where Brother Jamar coming from, because he's just being the vessel to bring it to me. I get it. Okay, I understand that. So we on the square together. But those are coming from haters. You got to understand.
Oh, no. We're all haters.
I'm probably the most influential and accomplished Black school psychologist in American history. Not probably, I am. I am. If you got a child in special ed, they've been ADHD, conduct disorder, I'm the person you came to. I've been doing this work for over 20 years. My name is etched in stone. There is no such thing as I just woke up and heard about you. You're going to get some people like that, but most of our people know who I am because I help them save their kids or their children went to my school. I didn't just wake up yesterday. People know who I am. I got the books. I got the articles. I got the resume for it.
Umar, I didn't know who you were until 6 months ago. I didn't know who you were. I didn't. It didn't cause the earth to stop revolving around the sun either. I'm not missing out on anything in life because I did not know who you were. I didn't know who you were. The only reason why I wish I would have known who you were earlier is to clown your ass out and to do research and reporting on you much sooner. That's it. Other than that, you've been spared from, having to have me bring down a hammer on your head. That's it. There's no benefit to knowing who you are other than to keep my foot on your neck.
Absolutely.
You understand? So
some people just woke up, though. Everybody not.
But listen to me. Even if you're not in the conscious community, you know who I am. I don't belong to the conscious community. I belong to the African race. I'm the most requested Black scholar in the world, hands down. That's mainstream.
Yeah, but you got to understand how many people are not.
Dear continent of Africa, if you want Umar, you can have him. He's all yours. We will not stop you from reclaiming him. Please do not return to sender. Do not send his ass back. And take all his cult members with him.
Don't even
but they're not
know about scholars.
That's what I mean.
Are so far removed from.
They're not asking the negative questions, Jamar. They're not. The new people are not asking the negative questions. The negative questions are the haters.
But I'm saying, is it a negative question to just to want transparency. You see what I'm saying?
Bro,
to just want to know what's going on.
Bro, what transparency you talking about?
Exactly. Y'all look at his face. Look at his freeze frame. Umar Johnson doesn't understand the definition of the word transparency. He has no idea what that word means. What transparency are you talking about? He has no idea what that means. That's how dumb he is. Look at his freeze frame. Look at his mouth. He's like, what do you mean? Bro, what do you mean? I've never heard people from the conscious community say, bro, like they're a blonde haired, sailor, like some sort of, what do you call it? The people like to go out on the beach and catch the waves. A surfboarder. That's how he looks right now. Bro, what are you talking about, bro? No, bro. What's transparency, bro? He's a freaking idiot.
We raised the money we bought the schools. What transparency you talking about? We raised the money.
What the receipt said, you moron. Where are the receipts to show exactly how much you, Umar Johnson, spent on those schools? Where are the PayPal receipts and the Cash App transaction logs to show how much money was raised to buy those schools? And then the actual receipt, because I have a copy of the deed, Umar, your name is not on it. FDMG RBG LLC is on it. K-12 management is on it. Your name is not on it. So unless your name is listed on it, I don't consider you to be an owner of anything. And if you're operating under this LLC and you're transferring money from that bank account associated with that LLC to your personal bank account, guess what that is, Umar? I'm going to let you figure that out while you look up the definition of the word transparency.
A little bit left is going to repairs. What transparency you talking
You can't
about?
make this
You
up.
think I'm going to put the school bank account on YouTube?
Well,
you
of course not.
You should.
On Twitter? You think I'm going to put the school bank account on Instagram? You out your damn mind.
I think they maybe want more of a timeline.
Yes, they do. That's a lie. That's a lie. Businesses do that all the time. And you know how, Umar? They redact the actual account number. Especially when you're talking about any government entity or possibility that tax dollars are being used. Yes, that would be public information, as a matter of fact. Just because you want to operate as a 501c3 does not mean that you have zero accountability when it comes to the donation dollars that you're receiving. You could post up the bank transaction statements for FDMG and just redact the bank account number. Redact out personal identifiable information. Just leave the name of the school on there to show that this is the account for FDMG LLC. Redact the bank account number and post the shit up. It's that simple. What do you think when the IRS is investigating your ass? Where do you think they're going to be getting this information from? What do you think they'll be looking at when they look at anything involving all those tax complaints coming in on those tax form 13909 against you and FDMG? How do you think the IRS is going to get an account of what you've been doing with the money? They're going to get those bank transaction statements. They're going to get the Cash App transactions, the PayPal. They're going to get all that information, whether you like it or not. Because see, what you don't control is how U.S. laws operate here in the United States of America. Now, he'll probably try to go to the continent of Africa because he thinks it's a country and to try to hide and run. But we'll have your ass extradited right back here to answer to any charge you catch. If the U.S. wants you, we will get your ass.
And it might open or something like that.
Catering to the haters. Don't cater
No. It's not catering to the haters. We have to. Here's what we got. Here's what we got to do, though, brother. No. It's not about catering to the hate. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. Okay. We have to make sure we have to vet all of our people, bro. I got love for you, bro.
Questions.
Then vet them other Negroes in the conscious community who ain't building shit.
Oh, we gonna get to them all, bro.
Jamar, wait,
we gonna get to them all.
Who else is building?
Jamar, don't discriminate.
Listen,
LeBron James built the school. I promise. Shout out to LeBron James. Jalen Rose built schools. Jamar just said his wife's his wife's uncle or father, his family member, his father-in-law. His father-in-law built the school. You're asking who else is building, and he literally told you earlier in the video, in the interview, that his father-in-law built the school. So what are you talking about, Umar? He's such a clown. And they got the audacity to have doctor right here.
Somebody built an institution from the ground.
He's so zesty.
Right.
He's
Somebody.
the whole
You ain't
breakdown.
got none of them. Name me a YouTuber doing what I'm doing. Any of them conscious dudes. Name one.
Wait, hold on. Why are you worried about YouTubers? I thought we were struggle streamers. Why are you comparing yourself to struggle streamers, Umar? You Oompa Loompa. Why are you comparing yourself? Who does that? You call us struggle streamers all day and night. And now all of a sudden, name another YouTuber doing this. We don't need to. Why worry about a YouTuber? He's such an idiot. What's the name of the school website?
On my level. Name one building. You crazy.
I
They
can't.
tie my sneaks, bro.
I can't. All I can
building
name
shit.
is my
How many
father-in-law.
kids they say?
He
How
named
many
his
they kept out of
father-in-law.
jail, bro? They're not building shit.
His father-in-law.
Right. So
Through the grass. What have they built, bro? Who you know in the conscious movement built
His father-in-law.
an institution? Answer that.
His father-in-law.
Nobody. I'm the only one in my generation doing it.
well,
That's
you're
a lie.
building it.
That's a lie. He ain't building shit. You got buildings and they're bandos that you have failed to renovate and open. And you only were going to do the smaller building. He keeps saying my father-in-law. And he's yelling like a female. You can't make this up. Let me go back. Hold on.
Maybe
No
want
business.
more of
No, let me not say that because I'm a woman myself. But I mean, y'all, sometimes I get a little loud and I don't even know it. But he is screaming to the top of his lungs. Like he is having a whole fit right now. He's throwing a whole man baby tantrum. Look at this man baby
a
tantrum.
timeline of
Catering
when
to
it
the
might
haters, bro.
open or something like that.
Catering to the haters. Don't cater
No,
to the
no, no,
haters.
no. It's not
Don't
catering to
baby
the haters.
tantrum.
We have to. Here's what we got. Here's what we got to do,
Catering
though,
to the
brother.
hate, bro.
No. It's not about catering to the hate.
Catering
I'm
to
gonna tell
the
you what
hate,
I'm
bro.
doing. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. Okay. We have to make sure we have to vet all of our people, bro. I got
If
love
gotta
for you,
vet
bro.
Everybody, then vet them other Negroes in the conscious community who ain't building shit. Vet
Oh,
them.
we gonna get
My
to them
track
all,
record
bro.
solid, bro.
Oh,
Who
Jamar.
else is building?
Wait,
Jamar, who
We
else
gonna
is
get
building?
to them
Who
all.
else is building?
Jamar, don't discriminate.
Name
Listen.
me somebody building an institution from the grass.
Right.
Name me somebody. You ain't got none of them. Name me
I
a
mean-
YouTuber doing what I'm doing. Any of them conscious dudes. Name one on my level. Name one builder. You crazy.
I
They
can't.
tie my sneaks, bro.
I can't.
They
All
ain't
I can
building
name
shit.
is my
How many kids
father-in-law.
They say, how many they kept out of jail, bro? They're not building shit.
Right.
Through the grass. What have they built, bro? Who you know in the conscious movement built an institution? Answer that. Nobody. I'm
LeBron.
the only one in my generation doing it.
Well, you're building
LeBron
it.
James.
You're building it. It's
Yeah,
not built
bro.
yet, though. It's
It'll
not built.
be there. Don't you worry about it. You be the first one there. Trust me.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yo, Tag Zesty in the chat right now. 150 plus people watching. Hashtag Zesty in the chat. Hashtag Zesty in the chat. Umar, you are zesty. You're so zesty. Throwing a man baby tantrum. Look at you throwing a whole fit. I can't believe this. Hashtag Zesty in the chat. Everybody put Zesty in the chat. Everybody drop Zesty in that chat. Zesty, Zesty, Zesty. Oh, what a female he is. He yelling, y'all, all that tartar field spit flying everywhere. Them yellow teeth just showing and glowing. Yeah, I think I saw him sweating and glistening. oozing out chocolate milk. He looked like he's just baking in the sun, smelling like Fritos, you know. Umar on his whole menstrual cycle right now. Yeah. Oh, we got to send him out to the desert so he can air out. Yeah, I've never seen get that damn mad for the school. Woo, Umar, you so zesty. Why are you walking around here mad and yelling at Jamar? Jamar's sitting back like just shaking his head. I mean, you talking about who else building this? Who else doing this? Who else building that school? LeBron James, Jalen Rose. He said his father-in-law. You got so many other black men that have built schools from the ground up. The audacity of you to think no one else is building a school. You got like your nerve. You're talking about who else building schools? Who else building institutions? Name another YouTuber. Wait a minute. I thought we were struggle streamers. Why are you comparing yourself to us? What the hell? Umar, that's not normal to sit here and to compare yourself. You're not a YouTuber, remember? Umar's not a YouTuber. But yet he wants us to sit here and to name another YouTuber. He wanted Jamar to name another YouTuber opening up a school for black boys. You know why no one else is doing that? Because he's not doing it either. He's not opening a school either. You can name a whole lot of YouTubers that may have had the concept of such, but he's not opening one either. So whatever Jamar said, you're building and you have not built. Child, oh Lord, all right. Y'all, we got to cleanse our palate. After having zesty Umar Tunde Ifanunde, oh brain dead day, eat dumb day. We got the lounge, y'all. Shout out to the lounge. Y'all can't get over the fact he's sitting here yelling and spitting in the camera. You know that room had to smell like hog maws and pig feet. That room he was sitting in doing that little whatever he was doing, throwing his tantrum, his little rant, had to smell like fried pickles and old cabbage. Between the spit flying, he probably passed gas a couple times. His nasty ass feet sitting here, you know, aerating. You can imagine the smells going on in that room. Umar, you can kiss my ass. Y'all, we got the lounge up. So this is shout out to the lounge. Fantastic content creator. She did a video where Umar Johnson scams could possibly be charged as how much federal prison time that carries. Okay, now I'm interested in knowing this. I want to hear her perspective on this. I sure damn do. Because I think many of us are all pretty much at the point where we're just like, okay, when is Umar going to face some level of, you know, legal justice here between him harboring his mother and keeping her away from her family and the fact that he just won't answer questions regarding what he is doing with the money? People want to know what's going on and what's going to happen. And so let's tune in to the lounge. Shout out to the lounge. Make sure you guys go check her out. Hit the like button over there as well. And y'all hit the like button here in the Lady Luck Club, because I mean, where else are you going to get these, you know, the top tier jokes here? And the fact that Umar is just a slob. I'm going to call it as I see it every single time. Okay. I just am. Umar is not opening a school up, but I'm not going to stop telling the truth. We all know he's not going to do it. I'm really not trying to, you know, convince his cult members, but I want people out there who might not know who he is and might be new to him and his you know, bullshit and his scam to at least be warned, because his website is a whole pyramid scheme with those contribution packages. And he doesn't even have a school website. Let me just keep reiterating that. There's no school website. So You can't even get information on the school if you wanted it. So we're going to tune into the lounge. Let's see what's going on with this possible charges and possible federal prison time. Let's go.
Talk about Umar Boness 3 times, y'all. We know he is on a YouTube tour, and we know that time is ticking. Time is of the essence, you guys. There is some things that is going on behind closed doors, and I can't talk about it. But y'all, from what I
What you
know
mean you
and
can't
see,
talk about it?
Umar Boness 3 times, y'all. His days are numbered. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Welcome. Umar Boness 3 times. His days is numbered. Hey, got you. How are you? I'm feeling good today. How are y'all? Welcome, Kathy and Gaku. Welcome in the building, y'all.
Umar gonna have to
Smash
get a
the
job.
like button, y'all. Umar Boness 3 times he's in trouble. I mean, I don't think no prayers is going to help this situation, but y'all, we're going to talk about the federal laws that, from what we know and see. Hey, Patrick, how are you? Happy Creole Month to you too. From what we see and what we know on the scams, and I'm going to break it down to y'all, and this is just my perception of this situation, a big situation that's going on behind closed doors, y'all. I'm just saying I can't talk about it, but I can. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Gaku said, what's good? What's good update? Yes, we about to update y'all. So there is some stuff going on behind closed doors, y'all. Smash the like button. And I'm just going to read because we know that Umar created FDMG schools, right? But we also know that Umar has also begged these people. Look, my lipstick is all not even perfect, but anyway, thank you, Gaku, thank you, Joseph. Hey, how are you? So what we do know, okay, let's start at the beginning. Umar created FDMG schools, right? So when Umar created FDMG schools, remember he only wanted Black donors to donate, right? So, with that being said, hey Dorian, how are you? Hey El Boogie, how are you? Um, El Boogie, I can talk about it, but I can't talk about it because I cannot let what's going on. I can't and use those donations to finance your lifestyle. And we all know, and what we can see pretty much, but we just can't prove it. But the feds, they can. What we do know and what we've seen is that Umar has been spending that money allegedly pretty much on himself. And according with the federal regulation, the federal law, and I'm going to read the statute, this can land him almost 30 years in prison. I did a few weeks ago a live about the same situation that happened. So to this other guy, he was doing the same thing. Remember, if you guys were on that live, he was doing the same thing. He had a business. He was asking for donations, and he was using the donation money for his personal use. Same situation with Umar, except for he was doing it for the Navy veterans. Well, there's some stuff going on behind the closed door, behind the curtains. That this situation, y'all, I'm giving it maybe 6 to 8 months. That's all I'm saying, 6 to 8 months, and Umar is going to be, P. Diddy 2 times over. P. Diddy 2.0. That's all I'm saying. But we're going to go over the statute. And we're going to, Nelson says, Diddy, yes. Nelson, yes. It's going to, y'all, these situations, excuse me, with Umar, y'all know he was asking for donations. He even got a cease and desist in Philadelphia. Remember, they said Umar needs to stop asking for FDMG donations in the state of Pennsylvania. He was still doing that. Remember when he came up on his Instagram and he asked for donations, and he was said, coming to you live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And you all know cease and desist orders are enforceable by law. So that means that the state agency or bureau that issued that cease and desist order should have filed a petition for contempt of that order. They should have taken Umar to court. And if they would have filed the petition for him to be held in contempt of the order, he could have faced up to 2 to 3 years in prison, depending on how much he raised after being ordered to cease and desist. And he, Umar, treated that cease and desist order like it was a letter, as if they were asking him out of formality. No, there's a difference between a cease and desist letter versus a cease and desist order. A letter can be written by anybody. Most times people get, an attorney to write a letter and they send it out and mail it to the individual. But an order comes from a government agency or the court. So it is enforceable under the law. That agency or the court that issued the order can hold you in contempt. They can file a motion. You get a hearing for contempt if you violate the order. So if he did that, the agency that issued the order to him should have filed a petition for him to be held in contempt of that order. He would have been able to get a hearing, which he probably would not have shown up for because he dodges service all the time. And they would have locked his ass up. They would have put a warrant out for his arrest, and they would have gotten collected his ass and locked him up. I mean, they can still, do it if he's still violating the order because the order is still in force. It's still in effect. So that agency, that bureau that issued it, can still do it right now if they wanted to. And I'm gonna pull it up. I have a copy of it.
And Philadelphia, Pennsylvania told him, don't you come over here asking for donations no more in the name of FDMG.
Ooh,
well,
child.
That is a situation in itself. But this other situation that is big and juicy stuff going on behind the closed doors is going to land
You can't make this up.
It's just like I said, a Diddy 2.0. I'm saying 6 to 8 months, maybe could be sooner, but there's some big things going on behind closed doors, you guys. And like I said, I'm going to read you some statutes. But also, remember when he was sitting in the car on some of his old videos and he was with the mail? Remember, he was like, yeah, I got all this mail, and he had the mail. I know, Jay, I know you've seen it. Probably a lot of other of you guys have seen it as well. He had, remember the envelopes, all the money, all the donation money coming in envelopes through the mail?
Donations.
He's in trouble.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's a lot going on. So my assumption on the charges, these are just my assumption, is going to be mail fraud, and it's going to be some type of embezzlement. But I looked up two statutes that pertaining to like the mail fraud and also collecting donations and using it for his own personal use. Those are the two that I looked up. Now they could get him with more others, but some people don't understand that, they say, well, he was asking for donations and they were sending them. Yes, and they're grown. Yes, they are. They're grown. Anybody can, you can send donations to anybody you want to. But for the purpose and the reason why you are sending these donations is because he was asking for them. As you guys know, he's always saying, "Hit me with the PayPal. Hit me what's the Cash App? Remember, send it to FDMG Schoolhouse." So he was asking for these donations for the use to build the school, do all these other things. Plus, he's already he was behind on all the bills, right? Yep. Now pretty much racked up 1.6 million, possibly more, y'all, possibly more. You racked up 1.6 million dollars, and I know that he has not kept the when somebody donates to you, you're supposed to keep track, just like when you go to Goodwill,
he's not keeping
and
track
donate,
of that.
they write everything down for you. They give you a receipt. Jay Witt says donations, gifts. Yes, Jay Witt, and he was using this money, and we can't prove it, but we're more than 99% sure that Umar was using this money for personal use. And when they pull them bank records and they see his debit card and it's sliding through Walmart, sliding through over here, at Macy's, sliding at the African shops, sliding for plane tickets, all these things, y'all already know at the IRS. He even said it in the last video. Remember the last video with the younger guy, just like 2-3 days ago? He said they reported him to the IRS. They reported him to the feds. But I, spoke with somebody. I can't say their name. I can't give up no information, but I can speak around it, but I can't speak like directly what information I was given. But y'all, Umar Johnson, I would say 6 to 8 months, and this is just me saying this, it's going to be ugly for him in 6 to 8 months. I'm just saying. If it takes maybe a year, I wouldn't even say that. But y'all, some stuff is in the pot brewing. Now, what we know about the statute, and this is me just looking at these two up, what these two can carry him. Like I said, I did a live video on, I call him his cousin brother from another mother. He was doing the same exact thing. The feds let him do it for 8 years. And he got away with it for like 2 more years or something. I think it was like 8 or 10 years. The feds let him, keep on letting people send money in for the Navy vets. You say, we're gonna let him. And then when the U.S. Marshals went to go and get him, he had a lot. He had a lot of money in his suitcase in his storage facility from these donations. And y'all see how Umar is collecting these donations from envelopes. Y'all see him in the car. Y'all seen him in plenty of videos where he goes to the mail and gets the mail from FDMG, and he's like all these envelopes. Y'all, it's not going to be pretty for him. So his cousin who has a degree as well. And I think his degree was from Harvard. Hey, Bronze, how are you? Welcome. So his degree was from Harvard. And Umar, he says he got 11 degrees from all these different places, right? He calls himself a doctor this, doctor that, but really and truly, he's a broke doctor that's about to be in the shackles, y'all.
Umar, for every degree you claim you have, I will make sure I get the dissertations for each and every one of them. I did with the one from PCOM. you know I will get the rest. Why keep lying about these damn degrees that no one cares about? Because you still can't be smart enough to create a school website. So your degrees mean nothing when it comes to you allegedly trying to open a school and you have no school website. This is so crazy. And what she's saying is, let me be clear on this. When it comes to the financial contributions, okay, whether you bought a package or you gave cash through PayPal or Cash App, those contributions are supposed to be tracked. I mean, PayPal, the company, Cash App, the company, they have that information on a backup server. So if he has, let's say he has a Cash App account and it was shut down, those transactions don't just completely go away. The company, Cash App, the company, they have backup servers where their information is stored. So if the IRS is doing an investigation, they want those records, they can get a subpoena for it, and then they can get the records from Cash App directly, not from him. The same thing would go for PayPal because he is supposed to be keeping up with the transactions and any money that comes through those, third party platforms like that, Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, what are wherever the other ones. I don't use a whole lot of them. I use Cash App and Zelle, but all the other these platforms where you can transfer over money. If he gets a transfer from an account to another account, if he gets a wire transfer, if he sent a check, a money order, he's supposed to have that money, those financial, the cash contributions, donations are supposed to be logged. He's supposed to have an account for a record for it. The gift cards, like he showed Red Lobster gift cards. Okay, those gift cards obviously are not going to go to buy expenses for, like supplies for the school or pay for, this imaginary security service he keeps claiming he had, right? So naturally, if someone sends him Red Lobster gift cards, it can only be used at Red Lobster. It can only be used at the vendors that is listed on that back of that gift card. Unless it's a Visa gift card, even for a Visa or MasterCard gift card, those types of cash gift cards like that, where you can use it anywhere as a debit card, it's harder to track those expenses. And because it can be used for anything, it's harder to say that this is specifically for the school. So if he uses a Red Lobster gift card for his personal use, there's not much wiggle room with that. But the cash, the financial transactions, yes, no, those can be tracked down. And if and I've mentioned this the other day, when you're telling the public, this is what you're raising money for, and you have the public believing, a reasonable person would believe based on what you're, promoting or purporting, that this money will be used to open a school, then it is illegal. There's a federal violation of a federal law, federal statute, and I'm going to pull it up, to mislead the public and to give fraudulent or false statements, especially to say money is going to be raised for the school and then you don't use it for the school. And if you give those same false and fraudulent statements over to a federal agency or towards a federal investigation, guess what that's called? Who knows what that's called? You lie to a federal investigator or lie in a federal investigation or lie under the penalty of perjury or under oath. What's that called? Anybody know? Go ahead, put the word in there if you know what it's called. It starts with a P. It's a hard one. To him, anyway. It's called perjury. That is a federal crime. That's a felony. Perjury. See, Umar's not smart enough to avoid that because he's a pathological liar. He doesn't know how to avoid perjury. He would perjure himself. All you got to do is depose his ass. Anybody that even if you filed a civil lawsuit against him and you got him for a deposition, he's still going to be placed under oath. And if he lies under oath, now you've got his ass on perjury. So he's already misleading the public, giving these false and fraudulent statements to the public about the money being used for the school when he can't prove that he has used these financial transactions through these third-party platforms, these transactions from, Cash App and PayPal and Zelle and all of that. He can't prove anything from his end. Now, you force these investigators to have to go and get it from the companies themselves or bank transactions from these so-called banks he said the accounts were frozen with. They're not going to give you a chance to explain yourself. When they ask you questions, they're going to ask you questions because they already know the answer. They just want to know if you're telling the truth. Because they know you're dealing with someone like a Umar, who's a pathological liar. It's so easy to get them on false and misleading statements or perjury. They know it. And that's federal prison time. So what she's saying is on point. And y'all, I tell you this because I read and research a lot about the law. My godmother is a federal magistrate judge. So she's on the money with it. And those the ABC boys, the 3-letter alphabet boys, they don't like being lied to. They don't like you wasting their time. They don't like you playing games in their face. They're not going to let you do it. They're not even going to fool around with it. By the time they catch his ass and hone him down, they're already ready to have charges filed against you. They're already ready to do that. They're going to have their evidence lined up. So when they do have to go out and file an indictment, let's say the FBI decides to, file an indictment with the court and get a DA or prosecutor to indict his ass, they're already ready with the evidence. You can get a grand jury to indict his ass and it wouldn't even be hard. So he's not smart. And his attorneys won't be able to get him out of that situation, especially when his attorneys are helping him file slap suits for $500,000 against Marianne Lorient. Or they're running around here threatening with litigation for more slap suits just to silence a critic. They asses can get hit with a direct criminal contempt of court charge or with a sanction and be reprimanded. This is why they didn't want to go to court. They didn't want to go to court because they knew if we go to court and go through this proceeding with this slap suit against Marianne Lorient for $500,000, more than likely her attorney is going to ask this court through a motion to have us sanctioned for even proceeding with the slap suit because it's so ridiculous. He's asking and demanding something he's not entitled to. He was never entitled to her intellectual property whatsoever. Never was he entitled to that. But what she should have done, what Marianne Lorient and her attorney should have did, deposed his ass. That would have made all of our day. They should have had a deposition set up and had him summoned to a deposition and deposed the hell out of him. So to Umar Johnson and his attorneys, please understand you scare no one. If you all aren't smart enough to conduct yourselves as officers of the court and to utilize that bar license and that bar degree, that a law degree and your bar license for better use, then you should be sanctioned and your client should be deposed. And the moment he lies, then whomever is having his ass deposed should have him hit with perjury charges. And that's exactly what he deserves. Let's get back to it.
But let me read the statute that I think one of the charges may be when that time comes. I'm just saying, this is just my opinion. So, and I'm just reading. It's actually, I put it on my page like 2 or 3 days ago, y'all, before I even knew of this situation, because I barely found out this situation yesterday. So I put it on my page like 2 days ago, way before I found out about, solidly about what's going on behind the closed doors. But y'all, let me continue. So, and see, we think that people are, situations with certain people were the reasons, and y'all, there's other people that have issues with Umar that is bigger than what we know and what we think. But y'all, let me continue. So I'm going to read off. So it says, I put into Google, I said, what using, like, using donations for personal use, what it carries you in the feds. So this is what it reads. And it's like I said, I put it on my post so you guys can go and read it. So it says, using donated money for personal use is illegal and can result in federal charges under various laws, such as mail fraud. Remember, he had the mail. Hey, Art of War, how are you? Hey, Kim. Hey, Bob. Hey, Daniel. So remember, he had all of those the envelopes, y'all. He had all of the envelopes. Okay, and they got the proof with his videos, right? So they said,
Yeah,
it
because
says
it's
right
telling
here.
them so.
Hold on. It says right here, okay, I'm gonna start over, you guys. I'm sorry. Hey, Francisca, how are you? Welcome. So it says, using donated money for personal use is illegal and can result in federal charges under various laws, such as mail fraud, U.S. Code 1341, solicitation or use of gifts. Remember, he was collecting and asking people for gifts and donations. So that's a violation under Code under Code U.S. Code 663, and general theft or embezzlement statutes. It says these laws apply if money is solicited for a public or charitable purpose
Oh
and
man.
then
So
intentionally
screwed.
used for private gain. It says, or if a scheme to defraud is devised to obtain money through false representations. In the case of political campaigns, a specific law prohibits the conversion of campaign funds for personal use. So he is in some deep, it's a lot going on. It's a lot. But I just picked two things to talk about amongst the millions that's going on. It
Oh
says
Jesus.
applicable laws and
I love it.
charges. In accordance with U.S. Code 1341, mail fraud, this law
Mm-hmm.
applies to to any scheme to defraud that uses a U.S. mail or private interstate carrier to obtain money or property. This can
Mm.
include soliciting donations, which, remember, every time he turns on the camera, he's begging for donations, and he's always giving FDMG PO box, blah 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 blah. As much as I just seen it, you would have thought I would have remembered the PO box, y'all, but ain't nobody got time to be remembering that. But anyway, he's always giving his phone number. He's always saying hit the PayPal, send the money to the PO box. Remember, FDMG
Oh my
schoolhouse, blah
God.
blah.
Yep.
Yep, it's all on. All the evidence, the proof is in the pudding. But y'all, let's continue. So it says,
Umar, you got it coming.
okay, let me start over. It says this law applies to any scheme to defraud that uses the U.S. mail or a private interstate carrier to obtain money or property. This can include soliciting donations through a fraudulent scheme and then using the funds for personal use. Now, we can't, confirm or deny the personal use, but we're more than sure. I would say if everybody, public opinion, I believe it's gonna be 99% that Umar was using this FDMG money for his personal gain. Remember, he was in Ghana. He was all vacations, staycations, gallivanting through Switzerland, going all these places. I know all of these people did not pay him. Hey, Drake Stats Mustache, how are you? Drake Stats Mustache says that last upload has me dying. Why did the band put on a suit and create that video about that school? He is a mess, and that's where it all began. I'm telling you, he is in trouble, y'all. I
He
hope
is
he's
in
eating the
trouble.
last. I hope that Cinnabon snack was good the other day at the airport. I hope
Umar,
the
you're an
last meals
idiot.
that he gets, are very delicious to him, because his days are numbered. His days are numbered. Hey, the luminary says no more $400 daishikis. Nope. No, he's trading that in
Mm-mm-mm.
for maybe $20 prison suits. The federale style. The all gray, maybe the orange. The black and white stripes. We got to consult with Diddy to see what color the new hot and popping color is with feds, right? Dorian says, I want Pumar to represent himself in court. He's gonna probably have to, because after these feds get done with
He's
him,
so
y'all, it
done.
is not going to be nice. And y'all, I'm gonna be right there at the federal courthouse again, just like I was with Diddy. Be at 500 Pearl Street. But y'all, it's crazy. Hey, Black Anonymous, how are you? Gaku says, Dern. Yes, it
Yo.
is going down. But
He's so
y'all, I'm telling you, Umar collected this money. Remember the mail portion. Remember, like I said, the videos. I wish I wasn't, because we're traveling. We're going on a little weekend getaway. But I wish I could show you guys the video again. I know most of y'all have seen it, but the video where he has all the mail in his hand. Y'all remember that video? Put a one if y'all remember that video. He had all this mail. Oh, these are the donations. These are the donations. Remember that? And he was collecting these donations through the mail, which is mail fraud. And also, he was not. I know he was not keeping them books, because when you have somebody donating to you, you are supposed to write a receipt. Has anybody had a receipt given to them? Any donors in the building? Black Anonymous says donations, gifts. Yes, Black Anonymous, yes. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if y'all remember seeing that video. Put a one in the chat. Do y'all remember seeing that video?
Yeah, we remember seeing he was in the car.
Example of the mail fraud that the feds are going to get him with. Trust me. I'm thinking, this is my thoughts, that he is going to be they're going to hit him with that mail fraud and embezzlement, and also for like something, of course, with scamming, asking these people, but all of it is pretty much the same thing, right? I see someone that, yes. So I'm telling you, it's not going to be looking good, y'all. There's the pot is, I'm telling you, the pot then went from 0 to like 9, and this situation.
Okay, I'm gonna show that. I'm gonna show that right now. Y'all ready?
9834 Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah, yeah, he got it.
9834 Wilmington, Delaware.
What's going on with this? Hold on a second. Hold on.
9834 Wilmington. 9634 Wilmington, Delaware.
This ain't it.
19809.
Looking like this.
And let me do this.
Hold on a second, because he was in the car. He was in the car. Hold on a second. This ain't it. Hold on. I want to show the part where he's holding it up. Okay. Hold on a second. Y'all bear with me. We got it. When I put it
I'm
on,
gonna open this one up. I hear a whole bunch.
Look at this. It's so
9834.
Okay. Let me just go there.
Odessa again, Indianapolis, Indiana. Thank you, Odessa. Somebody sent me a whole envelope full of change. There's no return address on it, but I can hear a whole bunch of change. Let me open this one up.
I don't know why it won't let me do full screen.
I'm gonna open this one up. I hear a whole bunch of change. Let's see what we got.
Somebody sent him change. What is going on with this video? Y'all bear with me 1 second, because I don't like the view on this one. I want to go. I'm gonna find it. I'll find another video. Hold on. Because he was like, gifts, donations. And he was sitting in the car. This might be it. Hold on a second. I need a better video. I got it. Yeah, I got it. Umar, you an idiot. What is the thing with my view? Why does my video look like this? Yeah, this is the video right here. Hold on. He was holding up gifts
the
and
vanilla
donations.
Shake with a gifted son. Drop Squad Kitchen is
because he was talking about Christmas.
Shout out to Jersey City. This brother has been mailing FDMG, our boys, our children. The sisters be looking so good when they get dressed up. I can't wait to get that good food up in Paterson, New Jersey.
Hold on. Nope. Y'all, I promise you, this is the video. I played it. I don't know what's going on with my view. I'm going to pull that damn video up if it's the last thing I do. Bear with me 1 second. Because he had a video up. He was showing a bunch of gift cards. And he had I saw a Red Lobster gift card. In the car. It was, you know what's so crazy? searching for gifts and donations. Yeah, here it is. I told you I would find it. This is where he tells on himself. He can't help it.
Thank you, sister. Donations.
Y'all see this?
Donations. Donations.
Look at this.
Donations. Donations.
This is a YouTube short.
Donations. Gifts.
Yeah, is it Red
Gifts. Gifts.
The Red Lobster.
More gifts.
Look at this.
More gifts. Donations. Donations.
Umar, you're an idiot.
Donations. Donations.
You can't make this up.
Donations.
All them envelopes.
Donations. Gifts.
Red Lobster.
Gifts. Gifts.
There you go.
More gifts. More gifts.
Pennies. Is that pennies? Y'all, this is the incriminating evidence here. Umar, you're not smart. What's the next?
Thank you, sister Avanti. $10 coming on the
Here's a-
cash app. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20. But thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
Look at this.
Thank you, sister Avanti. $10 coming on the cash.
He's admitting that he's receiving money on Cash App. Where is that transaction at, Umar? Where is it?
Thank you, sister.
In
Next
video
time, make
number
it
2.
20. But thank you for that
Make
10.
it
I know
20. Next
program
time,
coming
make
out for
20.
the ladies is called Lunch with the Doctor.
$500.
It's called Lunch with the Doctor.
$500 dinner lunch dates. $500 lunch dates. Umar, how are you getting the $500? You moron.
You make
You
a
can't make this
$500 donation to
Look at that.
FDMG Academy. ladies.
$500 donation.
$500 donation to FDMG Academy.
So now, dear IRS and FBI, he was soliciting $500 from women in the general public for a dumbass lunch date that would have been in some undisclosed location where the women would not have even known where they were because he said they were going to be blindfolded.
And you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice in the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called Lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy, and I will take you to lunch, private lunch, any restaurant you want in the state of Delaware. It's called Lunch with the Doctor, and it costs you $500. You don't pay for the lunch. I pay for the lunch. Any restaurant.
But you got to give him $500 for it. Umar, how were you collecting the $500 again? How was that contribution coming your way? Tell us all.
In the state of Delaware. Oh, yes. Brothers, don't hate. We got to stop hating. Brothers, we got to stop hating. Don't hate my ninja. Because if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your wife if
the man should show up and whoop his ass. The husband should show up and whoop his ass. Brothers and sisters, if this miscreant from hell asks your wife for a lunch date, please be real men and show up and whoop his ass.
she want that luncheon, if I ask your baby mom, do she want that luncheon with the doctor, we know what she gonna say,
He's
ninja.
disgusting.
Don't test my intellectual gangster. If I roll up on your girlfriend, your live-in prisoner, you call a girlfriend. If I roll up on your live-in prisoner, your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend who ain't there because she want to be, she there because she got to be. If I roll up on your romantic prisoner, my brother, if I roll up on your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend who living with you because she got to.
That's why he will never get married, because he considers even a girlfriend to be a romantic prisoner. How is this promoting Black family? How is this promoting that? The aspect of family. How does that promote it? When you're talking about a girlfriend being a romantic prisoner? Yeah, he's so hypocritical to everything he claims he represents. He's a walking hypocrisy and a pyramid scheme.
Not because she want to. Do she want that lunch date with the doctor?
No.
Do your wifey want that lunch date with the doctor? I think we all know the answer to that.
That's a hell no.
Me and you are not the same. I keep telling you that.
You can't make this up.
Me and you, we not the same. You not 6'3". dark chestnut Cocoa Brown with the North Philly beard? You ain't Leo King, ninja.
You're also employed. Hopefully, brush your teeth and shower, and you don't walk around scrubbing toilets with the same rag and the same gloves that you're probably sitting down eating a sandwich with.
You ain't Pan-Africanist number one. Nobody's flying you to every continent to hear what you got to say. Only me. Don't make me take my t-shirt off and turn into King Kong right now.
Oh, no.
Black gods. This school is producing revolutionary Pan-African nationalist gods. That's what the hell we doing.
Y'all, we're doing videos back to back.
Brother Witt, $25. Thank you, brother. You canceled the payment? Brother Witt.
Y'all, Umar, you would not be able to get out of this investigation to save your life, you idiot. There are countless videos of you collecting money for an FDMG school to open. Countless videos. Y'all, I'm literally just hitting the down button. We're on video number 4.
You canceled your $25? Must have a white girl. It's okay, brother. Love you anyway. But anyway, brothers and sisters. Black gods.
And here's where it gets real. When you ask the public for donations for the boys, for the community, you're inviting accountability. People have the right to know exactly how their money is being spent and why critical bills aren't getting paid. If the paperwork was wrong, if taxes weren't handled, or if money got mismanaged, own up to it, because anything less looks like running game on your own people. And here's where it gets real. When you ask the public,
we're running them up back to back.
And here's where it gets real.
Umar, you're not getting out of this at all.
God.
You're not getting out of
Thank
this.
you, sister.
Look at that. Video after video after video.
Donations. Gifts.
Red Lobster. Umar, how did you spend this Red Lobster gift card on FDMG school? I'm just curious to know. Yeah, because we just gotta, seal the deal and slam it down. So just in case you all are wondering, what is Lady Luck Club talking about the false misleading? Yeah, here it is. 18 U.S. Code Statute 1001. Because laws. Laws are laws. All right. I want to thank you all for tuning in. We're hitting 2 hours and 22 minutes. So we're about to slam dunk this home with some laws. False and misleading statements, USC law. The United States Code, specifically 18 USC Code Statute 1001, addresses false and misleading statements made to federal agencies or departments. Yeah, go ahead and lie to the IRS if you want to. Lie to the FBI if you want to. See, you've been lying to the IRS, Umar, when you did those tax forms 990 for 5 years in a row. Do you understand? When you're making misleading statements on those tax statements, you're doing that under the penalty of perjury. Whenever you file your taxes, what you're doing is attesting to the information you are providing to a federal government agency and making those statements. It's a declaration under the penalty of perjury. Umar, you idiot. You cyborg. You alien from another planet. Dumda Tunde. Every year you filed tax form 990 to the United States IRS. And you could not get those numbers to add up. And you fraudulently put down any number for a contribution. You were giving a misleading and false statement. And you did it under the penalty of perjury. And you did it knowingly and intentionally. You know why? Because when people ask you about it, you don't want to answer. You won't have a choice when they come for you. And I say they, meaning the IRS. When they come for you, Umar, you won't have a choice. You've lied so bad on those tax forms. You can't make this shit up. You've lied so bad, Umar. The only thing they can do is investigate your dumb ass. Y'all see here, simple code 1001. It's that simple. The law prohibits making false statements or representations, which can include making or using false writing or documents. Yeah, keep lying on those tax documents. The penalties for violating the statute can be severe, with imprisonment for up to 5 years, or more severe if the offense involves international or domestic terrorism. And then it gives some court ruling, U.S. Supreme Court ruling, to clarify that information. You guys can always look on, here's a website. I'm just going to drop this link here for people to read, because laws are laws. Laws are laws. Umar, you're not, and because we all know he's a horrible liar, he's a pathological liar. He can't help himself. He will not be able to tell the truth. So now you all can see, just giving false statements is a violation of federal law, especially when you're giving it to a federal government agency. And you're putting it on tax statements to the IRS, because they locked up Al Capone's ass and he was a murderer. Umar, you're not getting away with anything. You're not that smart. This is so crazy here. Except as otherwise provided in this section, whoever in any matter within the jurisdiction of the executive, legislative, or judicial branch of the government of the United States knowingly and willfully falsifies, conceals, or covers up by any track, scheme, or a device a material fact, makes any materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or representation, or makes or uses any false writing or document knowing the same to contain any materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or entry, shall be fined under this title, imprisoned not more than 5 years, or if the offenses involve international domestic terrorism, imprisoned not more than 8 years, or both. Umar, you can get 5 years for each count of this charge if you're indicted. Each count. And you know how many counts you would get easily with the IRS? I'm seeing 5 for every year you've lied on those tax forms. I want an attorney to please tell me if I'm wrong here. Each count could literally have 5-year prison sentence attached with it. Each offense would be a count. So if you've done 5 years of fraudulent tax documents, that's 5 counts. 5 times 5 is 25. That's my math right there. 5 times 5. You face 25 years for lying to the IRS and getting on their damn nerve. You can't make this up. Who's an attorney up in here? Because you can't make this up. And he's literally, anyone that even aided in this, if you aided or purported the scheme, whether it be mail fraud, the pyramid scheme, you're advertising that pyramid scheme on your YouTube channels, Instagram, Facebook, X accounts, whatever. You're aiding in that. You can be a co-conspirator. Don't think that you're going to get away with anything either. For all these so-called cult members and Umar Tardians that want to sit here and perpetuate the scheme and promote it, yeah, that falls on the mail fraud. That she wasn't off base at all. The lounge was on the money. You have so many statutes listed here when it comes to the use of mail to defraud. Based on Title 18 USC 1940 ED Statute 338, proposes to reenact the present section covering the use of mail fraud. So let's go to it. Here you go. Mail fraud. Because fraud. You got frauds and swindles. Oh my God. Whoever having devised or intending to devise any scheme or artifice to defraud or for obtaining money or property by means of false or fraudulent pretenses, representations, or promises to sell, depose of, loan, exchange, alter, give away, distribute, supply, or furnish or procure for unlawful use any counterfeit or spurious coin, obligation, security, or other article, or anything represented to be or imitated, intimated or held out to be such counterfeit or spurious article for the purpose of executing such scheme or artifice, or attempting so to do, places in any post office or authorized depository for mail matter, any matter or thing whatever to be sent or delivered by the postal service, or deposits or causes to be deposited any matter or thing whatever to be sent or delivered by any private or commercial interstate carrier. What do you think that means, Umar? That includes these electronic devices or electronic platforms. Those are what they consider to be that artifice or an instrument. So PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, those are what's called financial instruments. You use these instruments to transfer money electronically. So now that we have this advancement in technology, mail fraud would also include electronic delivery as well. And because it's being done electronically, you can't pinpoint it to being consolidated to one state. So that automatically makes it interstate. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Any questions so far? That would be interstate. Electronic transfer of funds, that's where it's considered wire fraud. It's a type of mail fraud, wire fraud. So since it's interstate, guess what jurisdiction that would automatically fall on? Yeah, that's the FBI. That's the FBI. Umar, you would be screwed on so many levels. That would automatically fall under the purview of or the jurisdiction of the FBI. Interstate fraud. Interstate commerce, that's what they consider it as. You're using a financial instrument such as a Cash App or PayPal or a wire transfer, even through a bank account from one account to another account. These are financial instruments you're utilizing to transfer funds for the purposes of purporting or perpetuating a scheme or a fraud. Because you can't prove that any school is open, you have not proven that any amount of money has been used to open the school that you've raised. You have no transactions or receipts or invoices or nothing. The permits are expired for both of the buildings. And you yourself said you were only trying to open the smaller building. That's in a video, Umar. So when I tell you all, Umar, like the lounge has said, is screwed. He's fucked. He would never get out. Let's continue reading laws because laws are laws. So you got mail fraud with the actual mail being delivered by the United States Postal Service. And then you have wire fraud that's happening electronically, especially with these financial instruments. And you think you wouldn't, Umar, you would be hit with mail fraud, wire fraud, false misleading statements, purporting a scheme. You have a plan or you've devised, that's conspiracy. You came up with a plan to scheme and scam people. You've got a website with contribution packages. That's nothing but a pyramid scheme. They're tiered packages. You can't make this up. I told you all that was a pyramid scheme on his website with those contribution packages going from bronze to diamond that he spoke about on the interview with Jamar. That is a pyramid scheme. People are buying these packages and they're not getting any return on their investment at all. You're not giving them a product or a service whatsoever. That is a pyramid scheme. So I've done a video on that too. And I said flat out, he is perpetuating a pyramid scheme. And now you're looking at fraud, whether it be mail and wire fraud, plus false misleading statements, filing fraudulent tax forms to the IRS. More than likely perjury because you lied like hell. Yeah, so the lounge was on the money. She didn't make that up. She was on the money. I mean, it's not even. I don't even need to read this stuff to know he's screwed. He's screwed. Or takes or receives therefrom any such matter or thing, or knowingly causes to be delivered by mail of such carrier according to the direction thereon, or at the place at which it is directed to be delivered by the person to whom it is addressed, any such matter or thing, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. You can be fined or face 20 years in prison just on the mail fraud. Wire fraud is similar. I think it's about 20 to 25 years. Umar, you have no idea the type of trouble you in, and you have the audacity to commit cyber crimes. Let's not forget about that, people. Cyber harassment. That includes the cyberbullying, the doxing, which is illegal, creating fake accounts to stalk people online. So that's cyber stalking. Do you know that the FBI, I'm not even going to say that because then it'll give him a heads up. But cyber stalking, all of that falls under that cyber harassment. And for each crime you commit that they can show evidence to prove, it's a separate charge, Umar. And the judge doesn't have to allow you to serve all this prison time, consecutively. It could be concurrent where it runs one after the other. They don't have to put it all together and say, well, you just do 25 for all these crimes you've committed. You're just going to do 30 years or 25 years. No, you can get 5 years for this, 10 years for this, 20 years for this, 25 years for that. And then you have to serve them back to back to back to back to back, because the sentencing guide does not say it has to be where all of that is combined and you just do one big prison term sentence. Nope. So if you're facing 5 charges, Umar, at each charge you got to do 10 years each, that's 50 years. And if the judge says we're following the sentencing guide on that, you can do 50 years. You just have to do 10 years back to back to back to back to back to back. Not 10 years total for 5 charges. Because you're not smart enough to know how sentencing guides work either. This is so crazy. This is what he is facing. This is what he's got ahead of him. And he has the audacity to threaten people. This is what he's doing. He's threatening people because he wants to get away and avoid any repercussions for his actions on this stuff here. Wire fraud, mail fraud, perjury, possibly tax fraud, bank fraud. If he can't prove that he had 2 accounts that were separate accounts and that he was not transferring money from one account to another account, then possibly money laundering, possibly embezzlement, because he's operating under this LLC, FDMG LLC, and he's transferring money from that LLC to his private account, because he said in a video that his personal account and the FDMG LLC account were both frozen for reasons. You can't make this up. So I'm telling you all, this thank you, the lounge, because it just confirms. I know I've done a video on the pyramid scheme that's on his website, those contribution packages, and there are so many content creators, us struggle streamers and all, that have been reporting on, the fraud, the scam that he is perpetuating here. And flashing what you're getting in the mail, these gift cards, your PayPals, your Cash Apps, Umar, all it does is just add evidence because you're the one posting this shit up in a video. So us struggle streamers can report on it. Yeah. Y'all, please make sure you fill out a complaint to the IRS using tax form 13909 if you have given any contribution to Umar the squarehead and he doesn't want to answer questions about where he's spending your money. Because if he's saying I'm opening up a school, that's where that money should be going. And we've heard him give various amounts of money he's received. We've seen the tax forms where he's putting various amounts of money on IRS tax forms because he's an idiot. Not caring about the fact that the money doesn't add up year to year. The numbers don't even match from tax year to tax year. So if he puts, I got $100,000 on tax year 2022. So on the tax form for 2023, where it lists, state the amount of money you received for the year prior, he doesn't even put $100,000 there. He just leaves it blank, or he puts a totally different number. Lying from tax year to tax year on these documents has to be the absolute dumbest thing ever. And guess who he's got caught up in that nonsense as well? Whatever tax firm completed those tax documents. You know what that tax firm is going to say? Well, we just put down what he gave us. Based on what information? Based on what receipts? Based on what documents? That tax firm would be the first place the IRS hits up. We need all that information that you use to fill out these tax documents. He used a tax firm in Philly. And it's on the tax forms. So whomever that tax firm is, they got it coming unless they're not real. And if they're not real, Umar, you really got it coming. Because now you've pissed off the IRS on multiple levels. You're lying to them about the money. Now you're putting down a fake tax firm. So it better be a real tax firm. Because the IRS is going to be interested in speaking with them. Oh, they're going to want to know what receipts, what documents did you all use to complete these tax forms? Because we're trying to figure out how you all come up with these numbers. And pull them up right quick. Because I want you all to just, get the full scope of the dookie that Umar's in. Yep. And it's why even, and if I were this tax firm, I wouldn't offer to do anything for it. I'd be like, no, you can't pay me. There's not enough money in the world you can pay me to do your taxes. You lie like hell. So let me show you all on here. Y'all see this tax form? I just want you all to see here. Just to bring it all home because, I'm thorough. Right here. Kincaid Services Group. Firm's EIN 26-476-2082. Then you see this address here in Philadelphia, and they have a phone number there. So the IRS, naturally, would call them and say, this stuff isn't adding up. It doesn't look right. He's got assets, $572,000, liabilities, only $54,000. I thought he was paying out all this money for those vendors and contractors. I thought he had to pay for supplies and security service. How is he only, the liabilities is only $54,000? What happened with the rest of the money? Why is he not reporting more expenses here? You don't have any expenses here. You have nothing listed for prior year at all. And this is from 2020. We can go to 2021. So you all can see. Then one thing he's not is consistent. Let me go up here. I want y'all to see what I'm seeing. 2024. Y'all see this? Net assets, $634,436. Y'all, all they did was take this number here, 634, and they reversed it, 436. Y'all see this? Even I can pick up this pattern. You took the first three numbers and you just flipped it around and made it the last three numbers. Just do 634, then 436. I can guarantee you that's what Umar was thinking when he did this shit. Yeah. Umar did these taxes. He had his firm do these taxes, and he said, look, man, all y'all need to do is put 634 and then flip the numbers around and put 436. Let's not make this hard. Because that's how he thinks. Don't make things hard or difficult, because he doesn't have the brain capacity to digest anything. That's coming from the man who can't define the word transparency. Y'all know there's something wrong with this right off the bat. I mean, me knowing, finance and working in finance, something that screams to me. He just put down 634 and then just said, let me reverse it, put 436. Have no receipts to support that number. None. You can't make this up. No expenses listed at all. No expenses at all. Nothing here. No compensation. No professional fundraising fees. No salaries or wages. Nothing. You can't make this up. Y'all see he's listed here as director. Under key employee and officer, but he gets no compensation. How are you buying food to eat, Umar? You filming yourself eating Cinnabons in an airport. Who's paying for those flights? Who's paying for those hotels you living in? Or those cars you're renting? Who paying for that stuff? You can't make this up. He just said, let me just take this number, I'm going to flip it around, and that's going to be pretty much that. Nothing here. Not one thing. Let's look at 2023. Y'all see what I mean? 640980. Where you getting these numbers from? 204,000 in net income. So how do you have that net income with no expenses? No expenses here. Nothing. Nothing listed. Same thing. 634,430. Y'all see the pattern? Do y'all see the pattern? 634,430. No receipts to line it up. He's not even trying to be creative with the numbers. You can't make this shit up. 634,436, 634,430. How are you raising around the same amount of money? Year after year. How are we getting here? No receipts. Y'all don't think the IRS is going to axe his ass? Bro, how you coming up with this? Who's the firm? Who's the firm? You got somebody doing your taxes for you, and this is what they're submitting over under their EIN. You actually have someone submitting this to us using their EIN. The answer is yes. Yes, he does. Kincaid Services Group. Right here. They got it coming. You better be a real company. That's their EIN, y'all. This is the firm that he's using in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The IRS is going to call them and say, we got some questions here. How are you all coming up with these numbers? What receipts did he give you all? Are you all just going in and just, changing the last digit of the number? 634,436, 634,430. So y'all just changing the last digit of that number every year? Is that how we do? This is an insult to someone that works in finance. This is very insulting for me to look at this and not see a shred of expenses here. And then he has himself listed as director with no salary. He wouldn't even give himself compensation for the damn school. None. $0 reported compensation from the organization. $0.00. What the hell? So he has no salaries coming out. I mean, at the very least, you would think he would just say, okay, I'm paying myself. But no, he's not doing that either. But then if he paid himself, then yes, everyone would require for him to actually do 8 hours of work every day. And you can't do that when you're so busy going from hotel to hotel, airport to airport, trying to chase down snow bunnies, Umar. Because we all know you like snow bunnies. You moron. He wouldn't be able to prove 40 hours of work every week to even justify the compensation. But y'all understand what I mean by you don't just come up with these random numbers like this year after year. And they're not adding up to anything. No expenses, no receipts, no nothing. And this firm here, they're going to be in just as much trouble as he is if they can't justify none of this crap they've done. And the IRS will make sure that they understand that. And it better be a real company. I don't, maybe I'll look this up tomorrow because I don't believe that this is real. But, that's just me. Because it seems too weird. And then the fact that they put no effort into it with these numbers, they put no effort into this. Current year, 84,000, priorly 204,000. These numbers don't transfer. They don't translate over year to year. So what he puts on the revenue for 2025 is not going to match what he's got for 2024 at all. But it should. The prior year should match at least. But no, they're not going to match. Because for some reason, the current year he has here is what's going to be listed as prior year on the 2025 tax statement. Yeah, that's going to be a whole nother number. That's what I mean by it not being consistent. Y'all, this is something else. Y'all see why I said this is fraud. Fraud. So let's get to these supers, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Brother Ted. Oh, man. Shout out to you, $4.99 super. Thank you so much. Fun fact, Umar and I have opened the same number of schools for black boys. That being 0. Wolves of Black Wall Street. Thank you for the $20 super, y'all. We met our goal. You all know I'm trying to get 2 lights here in the Lady Luck Club so that I can get back on camera because it's just dark as hell. And I want to get the quality of the content improved and upgraded. And of course, work towards getting a bigger desk as well. So thank you all. That's where these supers are going to be going, to renovate the channel as it should be and to invest back into the Lady Luck Club so that you guys can get some great quality content that you deserve. So I'm not at the point where I have a full studio, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And I want you guys to hit that like button and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club to help us grow even the more. If you're not a member, consider becoming a member as well. All of that goes towards the growth and expenses of the channel. We have the StreamYard, we have Xfinity, light bill because you got to use electricity. All these things that are needed, the expenses needed for the creation of this content. That's what these dollars, this contribution dollars are going towards. And unlike Umar, if you ask me to post up a receipt, I can. I've got the StreamYard bill. I've got Pacers, like $44 for that this month. I've got the Xfinity bill. That's $70 a month. Yeah, I can show bills. I have no problem. And it shouldn't be a problem either. So that's what these donations and the $25 goal goes towards that. And I appreciate that. Thank you all so much for that. For the 20 DKK. Tippity Tappity. $1.99 super Dookie Tunde. That's a good one. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super Dookie Tunde. Yeah, I know we had Dookie Gate. God. Now, Thelma Purdy. I hope I'm saying that right. For the $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Shout out to you, Shay. $5 super sticker. Thank you so much for that, for the support. I appreciate it. L Vincent $5 super. I have a question. Miss Lorian got almost $70,000 from Umar. How was her attorney paid? I would assume that she had to pay the attorney's fees up front, and the attorney's fees could have been reimbursed on the back end. But we all know that Umar had to use donation money to pay that settlement. So the fact that she retained her attorney, I don't know how much the retainer was for, but she only retained an attorney because he was the petitioner. Umar was the petitioner in that lawsuit. He filed that lawsuit. Had he not filed it, it would have never existed because she had no reason to take him to court. Well, if she did, she didn't intend on doing it. But he filed that lawsuit for $500,000, and rights to that film that he chose to invoke himself in with his fat ass. So the fact that she had to even retain an attorney for that, to me would be a part of that settlement when you're, doing an out of court settlement and you're sitting here and it's, to me, is a little unheard of for the petitioner to reach out to the defendant to say, we want to settle with you. It's like, well, you filed the lawsuit against me. But it goes to show he filed what was called a slap suit. SLAPP suit. It's a slap suit. It's like a method to be a deterrent for critics and to silence people. The amount of the money being requested in the lawsuit is always astronomical. It's stupid money. $500,000. Like Umar knows that there's no part of his lawsuit that would be worthy of him getting $500,000. But it was supposed to scare her and to shut her up, and it didn't. So she lawyered up, and hopefully whatever she retained, like her attorney's fees and all of that, was included. If not, she definitely deserves it, because that should be a part of the settlement. Most times it is. But seeing that he was the petitioner, she was the defendant, and then he reaches out to her to make this settlement, it goes to show they never had a case. So he wasted everybody's time, the court's time. It's an insult to the court. And the judge would have been pissed off at him and his attorneys for turning that court into a kangaroo court. Like, the judges don't want to deal with that nonsense. But that's a good question. I mean, I'm sure she paid her attorney, her retainer fee up front. It's the only way to retain the attorneys. And I'm sure she used part of the settlement if she needed to reimburse or to reimburse herself for what she had to pay her attorneys for. But, Umar's a moron. You're going to file a lawsuit with somebody, you're going to turn around and say, hey, perhaps we should settle. Yeah, you think you should have never filed this stupid slap suit in the first place. So she deserved a lot more. I'll be honest with you. She deserved a lot more. Did James Miller show up in here? James Miller showed up. Good night, my Dale. Happy birthday to you, honey. Good night to you. Great, amazing show, Lady Luck Club. Thank you so much. Witty Kitty, don't forget elderly abuse. Oh, yes. There's still the issue of the mother. Umar, you can show sign of life, or, at some point, the Philadelphia Police Department will be kicking in that damn door. And they won't have to ask your permission to get your mother up out of there. So he wants to keep playing around with that. He thinks people is playing with, think people are playing with him. Like people issuing out threat. I don't issue out a threat. I don't have to do that. He does that. Umar issues the threats. I don't. So anything that I can put out to help the family be encouraged to do what they need to do, go through the courts and get that court order visitation, whatever they need to get a protection order for her against him, challenge his power of authority or whatever he signed or had her sign, and challenge that in court and tell the judge, hey, we're sending cops to do wellness checks and he won't even open the door. And I'm going to schedule a live stream tomorrow and show some video on that. Yeah. Umar, you thought I was playing. No. So we got it. And I'm ready to show that tomorrow. And you guys can see the video. It was like not even a 20-second clip of his mother in church. Some sources sent to me and some text messages. And I compiled that into a video that is sitting in the members only channel in the LLC. This is before he became the caretaker. And you guys saw her sitting, walking. She was not bedbound, wheelchair bound. Now all of a sudden she is. So imagine that type of decline happening over what, a 5, 6, 7 year period, 7-year period. That's not normal. But if she would have been able to still be around her family, still be able to do the normal everyday things that she was able to do, probably would not be in this situation. And I'm calling it like that because being confided to the house, you don't even know if she's getting to the doctor's appointments or getting her proper medical treatment. and he refused to let her out in the sun. Like I said, show sign of life, Umar. I'm asking if she's alive. That's what I'm asking. So we got one last super in. Thank you so much, Senya. Is this Senya? It's a nice name. $5 super. Thank you so much. I work for the largest property firm in Detroit. I had YouTube playing in background. I heard Umar voice with Detroit in his mouth and I lost it. I know. He's so upsetting, isn't he? Umar's an idiot. Umar, yeah, just the fact that he says things now, he just says things to say things and has no point to it, any of it. Yeah, it'll upset you. I'm so sorry you were upset. So this is man, yeah, Dookie Juice Johnson. He looks like he was a slave. Probably. Who knows, man? Who knows? But I want to thank you all. And they said she stays with spoiled diapers for days. I can believe that. I can believe that. You guys know we've had Lene Stacks here in the LLC. She's always welcome to come back at any time. And yes, I keep in touch with her as well as any other of our guests here. Brother Malik, he's came through. Yeah, the lounge was in here. We had Messy Mashawn in here. We've had other great content creators here. And I keep in touch with them. I check out their videos, leave comments, show support. Lene Stacks, she's been doxxed by this man. So, of course, keeping in touch with her, making sure she's okay, just like his, the mother is a priority. And when he's out here doxing people and saying all the disgusting things that he has the propensity to say about women, yeah, I never just make it a point to just have one interaction. That's it. No. I'm keeping my foot on his neck. And if it means letting Lene Stacks come on here as much as she wants, it's going to happen, Umar. And you can kick rocks. So his name is Jermaine Doodoo Doodoo Brown. Great show. Thank you so much, Rivka. I appreciate all of you all for tuning in. All right, we hit 3 hours, you all. We're going to be back tomorrow. And I'm going to schedule it so you guys can see the video that I have sent to me. Shout out to Black Anonymous. I appreciate you guys. And want you all to have a good night. Happy birthday to my Dale. We love you here in the LLC. And I want you guys to take care. Hit that like button on the way out. Leave your comments and thoughts below. And until the next one, you guys have a great night. Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.